I'm WTFOSaurus. I'm joined by BoredGamer.
Hello.
And
Hello.
Twerk17, also known as Twerk so I know we have said this before, and to let people know, but I want to let everybody know that BoredGamer is a permanent addition to Redacted.
Woo! We love you, BoredGamer. We want to be just like you. Woo! Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks.
He's really excited to be here. As
I'm so excited. I'm the most excited.
He's the most excited, for sure. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the channel like the podcast like we normally do, just with 3 people instead of 2, so it can be extra fluffy or something. I don't know.
Extra awesome.
Extra awesome. Yay!
Extra awesome.
Yay!
50% better. 50%.
So, what I'd like to ask Twerk is, what have you been up to lately?
So, I've been playing a little bit of H1Z1 on stream. I played on Monday with 2 grills. NK Sharp being the most girly of the 2. And Falast, or Fiaste. We call her Falast because we're dumb. And pretty much, it was a total shit show. I'm pretty sure the first, let's see, 10 games that I played were the first person I saw, I was killed instantly. So like shot a couple times.
Yeah, I had to scrub a bit, so I didn't see just
because all you saw was menus because I was always restarting a game. So I literally just got killed instantly, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, this guy's terrible." I don't know how anyone was watching me. But then towards the end, we actually ended up doing pretty well, I think. And I don't know. It's a game that I usually play off stream, and I have a good time. It's like my chill out game, and pretty much I didn't get any sleep that night, and I was just
who needs sleep anyways, right?
Yeah, so I kind of needed a game that was gonna keep me entertained, but also like the stream was gonna be really chill, and if I felt like I was really tired and needed to go to bed, I could just be like, all right guys, you know, I'm out of here. Whereas like the other stuff, it's a little more like serious, I guess. Like for whatever reason, Star Citizen, if I'm doing Star Citizen, I gotta go full out because that's what I stream every day, and if people want to watch it, they kind of want to be there, right? But for H1Z1, no one's really there to watch that game. They're more just there to kind of hang out, and when I'm ready to go, I can go, type of thing.
And
I hope you hit a building.
Citizen?
And yeah, with then I played a little bit of Star Citizen. So you know the usual streams, just kind of switching through builds and playing with them, and just playing against people, like people in the chat. Usually them wrecking me and throwing tomatoes at my face, as you can see there, right? Everyone gets mad at me and then they throw tomatoes at my face.
Well, we know that you love tomatoes, Twerk. So
yeah, exactly. So
Christmas presents, guys. Remember.
Yeah. Secret Santas. Tomatoes on the vine to Twerk.
Oh my god, he's fave.
So good, so good, awesome. And BoredGamer, what have you been up to?
So I've done video-wise. I've done the second part of my tutorial, which got me MVP. Thank you very much, guys. Down to you and Twerk helped a lot with that, and to all you guys in the chat, thank you very much for helping me with that. But so I've done the second part of that, which is Next Step Star Citizen, and takes people through more of the community aspect, a little tiny bit of racing. Again, Saurus did all the racing for me because I'm crap at it. And then I've also received a board game called Monster Kingdom Death that I've been waiting for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years ago, I backed it on Kickstarter for $500. And it is beautifully crafted models board game with beautifully dark artwork, and it's about a co-op survival game where you've got to survive and make a village and a civilization, and it looks amazing. I haven't got time to try it though, because I've been playing Vermintide and Rust and preparing myself for CitizenCon. I've got my cosplay ready. I'm hyping myself. I have to wake up really early in the morning to get my hype on. Just to like Super Saiyan up, just go, just scream at myself in the mirror. And And that's mainly what I've been doing.
How is Rust? I heard it's been improved pretty drastically.
So it's yes, it is. I mean, it's actually really fun to play, but it's based on what server you go onto.
Gotcha.
So I jump on with another 6 of my mates, and we're pretty damn organised. We know how to farm together. We're good at building. We're very industrious, and we'll build a big house. And we are very good at murder. We will like swarm around people and get crossfires in, and just murder, steal everything. But there's select groups of people that will murder you when you're sleeping, or will just
That's messed up.
Well, no, so that I don't really mind that. That's kind of, if the only way you can get someone is to attack them when they're sleeping, or they're not online when you're not, cool. They've got a base, you try and break into their base.
Yeah.
The problem is when people just grief you, so they just like put foundations outside your house so that you can't leave your house.
I'm
like,
sort of scared and excited for what griefing tactics are going to come into Star Citizen, because there's gonna be.
Wow.
Yeah, there's gonna be, right?
Well, so I don't think so as much as you think so, to work, because there's going to be 9 NPCs to every 1 player. You can effectively fly off into the distance and
never
almost
see another player.
Yeah, almost never see a player anyway.
Yeah,
because I'm sure there's other people that would do that.
Yeah,
and probably griefers that will fly off into the distance too.
That's true. So what have you been up to, Saurus?
Myself, outside of Star Citizen, I've been playing a few games. I beat a bunch. First game I covered was a game called Soma, and look at that buffer, which was really, really, really awesome. The story was really good. It was on the shorter side of games compared to the other games I played. It was on the longer side, but it was on the shorter side of games, and I'm getting mad buffering to watch my own video back. There we go. It was really good. It looked really good. The ambience was really good. The story was amazing. The only thing that was disappointing was that there wasn't multiple endings where I felt there could have been. And I don't think that would have been a lot of work on the developer's part, but it was really, really good. For some reason, your videos don't buffer, only mine do.
But your videos are triple as sexy. That's what it is. It just can't handle it.
They can't handle something.
Can't handle
something
sexy.
like that. Anyways, that was really good. It was sort of based on an AI, sci-fi, robotic future thing. So it was really cool in that respect. It wasn't your traditional horror game, but as you guys can see, it looked amazing.
It looks great. Yeah,
that's right.
Is it Unreal 3 engine? Or was it Unity?
No, it's Unity. Unity.
Oh, it's very good use of the Unity engine.
The second game that I played and happened to beat was Layers of Fear. Let's see if we can get this to play. Apparently nothing wants to be cooperative for me today. Let's bring this down to high, and maybe that will change some things.
So you can go and see these videos live on Saurus's channel, and they buffer just as much. It's all about the buffering.
They buffer just as much. So there we go. I just had to bring it down to high. But yeah, Layers of Fear was by far my favorite horror game that I played. The only problem with it is because it's still an early access, is it's not complete, and it's only like an hour and a half long. But that whole hour and a half, I was sitting on the edge of my seat. There's no like combat mechanics, or there's no fighting, whatever it is, at all. There's no dying. Like, I don't think it's possible to die in the game, but this is the game that had me scared the most and screaming like a little girl the most. It was really cool. I want to see if I can find something specific in this video as well, where it was like actually
like scary,
yeah. So before,
like where it catches you.
Yeah. So I think when I was in the kitchen here, I was like trying to escape, and I was like, fuck, I don't want to be in the kitchen. This is not a good time. I know it's not a good time. I know something's going to go down. But yeah, it ended up like the painting had like things come out of it, and the room went dark, and a knife like came beside me and stuff, and I was, right there it goes dark, and I'm like, fuck this. And you can see it. I'm like, no, please, no, I don't want to be here. So that was really, really good. I really enjoyed that game. And then the last game that I really played and we beat was a game called Colort, and I just got to get this.
So I disagree with you there, Saurus. I wouldn't say you beat that game.
Well, I did. I got to the credits, and that's what matters.
At one point, I remember you phoning me after your stream and saying, "It's just rocks and snow. Rah, I don't know how to use the compass."
Oh yeah. Okay. So the first night that I played this, the map doesn't help you at all. I can't tell. The compass is in Russian, so obviously the red is north, but it's also on an angle. The compass is on an angle. And then the map doesn't have like a north direction. So you assume up is north, but you don't know if that's the actual case. And it doesn't help you anyways because it only shows like some trails, not all the trails. And it's kind of like, it's a closed open world is the best way for me to describe it. So you can go anywhere that you can kind of see as long as, but you can't jump, you can't climb over stuff. So the environment was really cool. The ambience was really awesome. The ambiance was really cool. It had like Sean Bean doing narration and stuff. It was really cool. I had no idea what was going on the entire time.
Just don't go to the fog.
I will refer you back to your statement. It's just rocks and snow.
Yeah, and then there was a quote that Twerk had for me that was he's like, all I know is that when the orange fog comes, so do the scares.
Yeah.
So do the scares. And that's it. Like, I ended the game, and I guess this could be a spoiler alert, but I don't really think it is. There's a tent. Okay, so it goes Act 1, and then it's like 15-20 minutes. Then Act 2 is the entire game. And then it goes Act 3 at the very end, and it's like, oh, I thought it was done, but then it's Act 3. And in Act 3, you see a tent with a light in the distance, in the darkness and in the snow and stuff. And you go up to the tent, and then it just rolls credits. It's done. And it's like...
Spoiler alert, guys. You were a tent all along.
You were a tent. You were a glowy tent the whole time. So yeah, those are the games I've been playing. I just started Alien Isolation last night. I don't have a video for that up. And just been doing Star Citizen during the day. Alien Isolation so far, I had it on hard. And I think that's why I was so frustrated with it. But I started yesterday, and I couldn't fix the tearing for the life of me. And oh my god, was that annoying. Because the NVIDIA control panels and stuff wouldn't let me change anything. It won't update. It won't do anything. There's your glowy scare fog.
Yeah, stay away from it.
And yeah, so for me, that was super, super frustrating. But I'm going to give it another chance tonight, and we're just gonna play it on easy. Yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna be just as scary. I can't deal with dumb mechanics, and yeah, it just seems like there's no way around some stuff. So yeah, but yeah, that's sort of what I've been up to, and nice. I guess what everybody's been up to. So let's move on to some. Well, actually, before we do that, do we have a giveaway to do today?
We do. So BoredGamer generously donated to the podcast for all of you and all, because he loves you guys.
Well, the problem was Saurus and Twerk said, I don't like my communities, they don't deserve anything else.
Yeah.
And I went, no, guys, no, let's give something away to your communities. They were like, no, no, keep it for us.
No. Keep it for us, yeah.
Yeah, we want a Merlin fleet. And we're just
we want our own Merlin fleet
until they run out of gas, and then we're just gonna leave them somewhere.
I want as many You Got Our Backs Electro Skin hulls as I can hoard to myself.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
So it has started, guys.
And while we're starting this, I just want to talk a little bit about a tweet that both BoredGamer and myself have put out. And basically, with all the drama and shit going on, I thought I would like to show, well, BoredGamer did it first, so I can't take any credit for it, but BoredGamer, you know, put up a tweet saying he's proud to be a Star Citizen, and he's not going to support any of the drama, and he supports CIG. And I kind of wanted...
I don't mind the drama. The drama's fine. It's the retaliation, which I can't stand.
Yeah,
right.
It just becomes hypocritical. It just, and I can't stand that.
Yeah, we can't do to them what they're doing to us. Doesn't make any sense.
But I mean, it just costs CIG more money.
Yeah.
Right, and so this is something that you started, and I wanted to continue. I made this a tweet. I asked my viewers to retweet it, and to do the same thing if they could. So I put a tweet. I even pinned it to the top, and I suggest BoredGamer if you can pin yours to the top as well. So
and I'll be doing this as well.
And if you can do it as well. I'm going to be giving these away as $5 gift cards on Saturday. Right? And that's the best way to look at it, because you can melt these down and use them as gift cards. But it's the You Got Our Backs Electro Skin Hull. And I was going to say, I'm going to keep these and all these gift cards for me. All for myself. I'm not going to give any of them away on Saturday. No. But actually, all of that stuff is going to be given away on Saturday, plus the glaive. But these...
I heard they're going to sell really well when the game releases for UEC.
Yeah. I feel like it's a good way to show support to Star Citizen and CIG for all the stuff that's going through. I know a lot of people still support them in everything that they do. I completely support them. I give them the money. They do whatever they want with the money. You know,
wow.
as long as I get a game. To be honest, I could care less how they spend it, as long as I get the game that you know they're delivering to us already. I'm happy.
I'm happy with 25% of the game as pitched at the moment, because it will still be my dream game. But we'll talk more about the.
We will go more into that later on. But I just wanted to show you guys, if you haven't seen this, definitely if you don't have the extra cash to go and pick up some electro skin hulls, do us a favor and just retweet mine, and you can find BoredGamer under @BoredGamerUK, right? That's your Twitter?
And just don't poke people. Don't retaliate against publications or individuals. Right. There's no need to.
All you need to do is show your support by doing something like this. That's it. And I wanted to bring that up because this is something that I think is important for the community, to sort of show our solidarity together, that we don't need other people to stand up for us, that we're our own adults that can do whatever the fuck we want with our own money.
Yep.
Anyways, woo! All right, let's move forward. Let's go. Let's talk about something that was talked about. It was first brought up on Reverse the Verse, and we've heard news about it throughout the past week or so. And this is the totally unseen ship going on sale at CitizenCon.
So, Saurus, this is more of a question for you, because
I know.
Because I unfortunately received an email from someone saying this is the ship and this is how much it is, and I checked out the sources, and the only source I can find for it is some dickhead on Twitter and Reddit. DS1 to protect his identity. Just posting spoilers. So not 100%, but me and Twerk kind of have a leak that we kind of know what it is. But we wanted to know what you think, Saurus. What do you think it is?
Okay. Well, there are some things that we do know about it prior to this quote-unquote leak. So if there are people out there, this isn't anything. For me, I have no idea what it is. So we know that it's military-based or like military-themed. I don't have chat up. I know it hasn't been shown or announced, I guess. Or so the correct wording is it's been unseen. So we've never seen it before. Whether it's been talked about or whatever is, I don't know. It's named after a ship in the Wing Commander universe, and this was confirmed by Ben on Reddit. And somebody had actually gone through and posted all the names of all the ships. The first chunk, and he said, "Can confirm that's not it." And then he posted all the rest of the ships, and it's like, great, okay. Well, it kind of cuts out that first third of ships, but it doesn't really help out quite a bit. We know it's not the F8 Lightning, 100%. That was very clear and made that it wasn't F8 Lightning. For me, I've said I think it would be really nice to see. Just because it's military based doesn't mean it has to be human. Whether I'm right or wrong with that, I have a strong feeling it's probably something like the Tavaran ship, the Prowler.
So I wanted it to be the Prowler so much.
I wanted it to be the Prowler because I want to see what the Prowler looks like.
Because we've never seen
by that response that it's not that. So that's what I thought it would have been. I thought it could have been that, or it could have been something. I can't see anything in Skype, by the way.
I've posted it to Twerk so he can drop it in the channel. So that's a link that Twerk's going to put in a second if you want to read on the drama mega thread on the Reddit, so you can actually see that for yourself what it is if you want a spoiler.
But I'm not sure what it is. Like I said, I thought it would be the boarding ship. Like, there was a lot of speculation thinking, oh, maybe it could be the Herald, or it could be the Dragonfly, because we haven't seen that yet, or it could be the new Corvette, right, which we don't really know anything about.
I would buy that. I keep on saying I won't buy any more ships, and then I buy more ships, but I would buy that.
It would depend on how much it is and who makes it for me. And it's still, that's the same for all ships going forward, right? It depends. I don't buy every ship that comes out. I didn't buy an Endeavor. Not because I don't think it's a cool ship, but it's because if I bought every ship that came out...
What are you doing, bro? You say you're back Star Citizen and you're not buying every ship.
Right?
What's up with this? You can't be part of our religion. You can't be part of it anymore.
What kind of backer are you?
Inferior game.
I know, right?
Casual
what a
backer.
guy.
They play console.
Baby Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play console. You better believe it. Yeah, so I have no idea what it is. I'm actually really curious, so I'm gonna go look. And is this something that... Yeah.
But you would like that at Christmas as well. You're looking at rattling your Christmas presents under the tree, opening them up.
I can't even see... There's too much stustuff here. I don't know.
So
I'm not going to spend time looking at that.
I'm curious, did anyone else pick up an Endeavor during the sale? I'm just curious, really. I want to know how many people are into science enough to put $350 plus into it.
Yeah, up to possibly 900. I had somebody in my chat that had the $900 package. One guy came in and I was like,
yeah, we have a couple people. So yeah, guys, do me a favor. If you bought an Endeavor and you're watching this on Twitch, type 1 in chat. If you've bought an Endeavor and you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor and leave a comment below saying that you did buy an Endeavor and what one you picked up.
All for science. For science.
Yes.
All for science. Yeah.
So there's also a new CCU system that's possibly coming in.
Yep. And this
week, hopefully.
This was brought up on Reverse the Verse as well. We can still only CCU ships that are on sale. So any of those limited ships aren't just going to be unlimited for anybody to CCU to or whatever. Those still will be only CCUable when they come on sale for things like anniversary sales or special sales, things like that. And
we do normally get a ship sale every other month, though. So there'll be plenty of opportunities for people to get the ships they want.
Oh, definitely. Things like the 350R and the M50 and the Super Hornet, those things go on sale all the time to the point where I don't even know why they're still limited, right?
Yeah,
but
you might as well.
That's what it is. And it has been confirmed that you will keep LTI and whatever came with the original package. The only thing that's going to change is the ship. So if you CCU a ship, that doesn't... So say, for example, I CCU from an Aurora, which has a self-land hangar, to a Cutlass, which has the VFG hangar.
Yeah.
Does that means that we still have only the self-land hangar and everything that came with the original package?
So, but I think you still get an upgraded hangar. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. That I'm not 100% sure either, but I know for a fact, like, I don't know, I'm sure all of us have CCU'd something at some point. Like, if you go to your hangar, it still says, for example, my CCU'd Avenger is a Mustang Omega. And then you go in and it says it's a CCU.
What hangar has that got?
Let me take a peek.
Because right now when you CCU things, they have...
the system's going to change a bit.
Yeah, they have the hangars that go with them. So when you CCU up to something, it brings whatever the hangar is of the new ship with it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, but the only reason to use the new CCU system effectively is if you want to keep your lifetime insurance or other extras on your account, like Alpha, or if you had like advocacy tools or a laser pistol or something from an earlier sale. But otherwise, you might as well just melt down your ship because you can also downgrade.
The Avenger comes with the business hangar, right?
View, yeah, I believe.
I have the self-land hangar.
Okay.
In my package, so it does not carry.
At the moment, it doesn't carry.
At the moment.
Now, the other thing that we know about this is we're going to be able to downgrade our ships as well. There's going to be a cost that comes with that. Yeah, there's going to be a cost that comes with that. That's going to be $5. Right? They've talked. I think Ben was mentioning that on the forums. And that's it's just to make sure that people aren't flip-flopping and bouncing all around. Now, I don't know, like, so say for example, you switch from a Cutlass to an Aurora, right? I don't think it costs you an additional $5 on top. I don't know how this is going to work. This is speculation.
No, but what you would want to do is you'd melt your package. You can still melt your packages. It's just if you want to keep your lifetime insurance and change hull to a lower hull, you have to pay.
So it's essentially a $5 fee to keep your package.
Right, but I don't know if it's just $5 more or if it's $5 like less of whatever the difference is. So if you're going from a Cutlass to an Aurora, do you get 60 back in credit, but then you have to pay 5, so you only get 55 back in credit? Or is it an additional $5 on top
and you get nothing in credit?
And you get nothing in credit.
I can see the concern threads already appearing now, Saurus. Good job.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we can kind of speculate on what the system's going to be. I think it's pretty obvious that it's just going to be direct CCUs instead of these jumps to get to each one. So, if, for example, if you have an Aurora and you want to go to something larger, it's just a direct shot, and then the difference in price, and that'll be it. That would be what my guess would be.
Yeah, but, I think you're probably right.
I can't imagine that it would be any different than that with what they've explained of the system, because the system and its core functionality seems to be exactly the same, and I think it's just simplifying it now.
Yeah, I mean, I never really understood why it couldn't be 2 drop-downs. You select a ship that you own, you select a ship that you'd like to change it to, it automatically does everything. You push a button, boom, bang, done. You're good to go. If there's a charge that's incurred, it takes you to that. If there's not a charge that's incurred, it just lets you know that this is, either your balance is even or your balance is extra or whatever.
Exactly.
And we go from there. So that, I mean, it's cool. I'm really excited to see new things come to the website to improve functionality and to streamline things and to make it easier for people to understand. I'm all about that. So while some people might be, oh, the $5, this is just a way for them to get more money or whatever, I look at it as it's a lot more user-friendly from our side of things. Whatever you're doing, BoredGamer, you're messing up your green screen. There you go.
Okay. I apologize.
Yeah, don't do it again.
Don't sit there like that.
Don't.
It's when I go on the Star Citizen website, because it's mostly black rather than white. It damages all my lights in my room.
That's funny.
Relying on his monitor for lighting.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's just going to be better, and why wasn't it there in the first place is really like what I'm wondering why. What was the idea behind the whole map to get everywhere? I wonder. Maybe to discourage us from doing it a little bit? I don't know.
I don't think they originally thought the amount of people were going to continuously be buying and swapping and going mad about everything.
That's a good point. I think through this whole process of development, the current theme has been we've surprised them with how crazy we are.
I think the whole theme is this is the first time we've ever done or anybody's done anything like this.
Yeah.
And nobody is really sure how to do anything properly, and they learn as they go along. And that's sort of how everything's been happening, right? And you can't fault them for that. It's not... No. Whatever, this is brand new. This whole system is brand new. They're trying to give us as many options as possible, and to make sure that we're happy, right? And I mean, so far they're doing a fairly good job. The next is component system, and who wants to talk about this?
I'll do a little talking. I guess we all can a bit, but it was on Around the Verse, and it was during Ship Shape, so kind of the last Ship Shape with Lisa, I think, which was kind of sad. So rip Lisa.
Off to Sony now, I believe.
Yeah, and apparently like a super good job because Ben was like really jealous. So basically, multiple components are coming in. So they kind of showed us there was going to be like 3 power plants instead of 1 in the 300 series ship, and they basically need to update every ship now in order to fit this component system, right? And kind of I wanted to ask you guys this question was, do we think a lot of these reworks that they've been talking about are them working in this component system, as the 300i was undergoing a rework recently? So I know it's a lot of things that are going on with it, but do you think this
as far as I'm aware,
significant part of it?
So as far as I'm aware, the new component system is being rolled out to all of the ships currently,
yes.
like as a major feature for everything, because it's all built into the pipe and physics system of the actual game. So all of these power plants allow for more data and customization and tuning, and for lots of different things for players to do.
More flexibility.
Yeah.
So essentially, that picture that they showed us, where there was health from each power plant and things like that, they don't necessarily have to be visual. They don't have to be drawn, animated,
rendered.
Anything put in. They could just say that this is where they are. This is how much health they have. So is that kind of what you guys mean?
I don't know. I think it's a lot to do with, it's actually a whole new system of how the ships work. It's the system they've been talking about for quite a while, where they all feed into each other with different pipes, and this allows them more and greater customization of the different ships as well. So you'll be able to see a clear difference between the way a Cutlass's engines work compared to a 300's engines work compared to a 350R's engines. They all be tweaked so they will actually go, oh my god, this ship handles so much differently because of the power it's getting into its...
Because the way it is.
Because
well, exactly. Because of physics.
You're right.
But I guess the question that I'm asking is because this component system is coming in and they're putting in now multiple power plants, which I don't think was initially concepted when they made some of the early ships like the Hornet, 300i, those. Do they have to
No. Because this is
things?
Not all of them. Not all of them. Because what is happening is it's mostly just affecting some of the larger ships, that instead of having one giant engine for something, they now have multiple smaller engines. That one smaller engine can be something that's in a Hornet.
Same spot.
Right. Or fit in the same thing as an Aurora. So the thing is things are a lot more homogenous now, where they can be used in other things and be swapped out and upgraded for different ships, and so there's a general way that all engines fit in ships, right? So whether that's you can there's still the different sizes, but when you get up to the bigger ships, instead of making them size 20, right? It's 5 size 3s or whatever.
Well, the original sizing and thrust systems were crap.
Yeah,
they were placeholders.
And there's no way that stuff was going through. Now, when you were talking about having to actually show them and animate them, that stuff is going to still have to be in there. You're still going to be able to see the engines. Like, a good example is the M50. You're still going to see them in there, and you're going to be able to swap them out. So you're going to need to see what that looks like.
Yeah. I'm also less concerned about the engines and more of those other components.
Well, this is the other thing, too, and I'm getting to that, is when we saw the Herald interior... I believe it was on was it on this Around the Verse as well? You can see the green placeholders for some of those components that are in that they didn't model, because that's where those things will go in. So you'll see that we will have access to those, and we will see those things like the CPU stuff. We'll see stuff like the targeting system and stuff. So in some ships that'll be visible, and on some ships they won't be. But we will still need to. They'll still need to model those. Right, they're not going to just make a cube and be like, "Here's a cube, it's a power plant." Right? There's no way that they're going to do that. They're going to say, "Okay, this is what it is. This is the size, and this is how it fits." And there's going to be a general way that all of these things all plug in to everything the same.
And that kind of answers my question, is because the 300i is a legacy ship, how are they, and how long is it going to take for them to implement this system of, now that there are 3 power plants on the 300i, where are they? How do you access them? Everything has to change a little bit, right? And I think
a little bit,
because we're hearing all these reworks, I think a lot of these reworks may be related to this component system and less related to design.
Well, there's a couple reasons. There's a couple reasons that they're going into reworks. A lot of the legacy ships. The only ships that aren't going to go into reworks right now, these are the only 2. The Merlin and the Gladius. Those are the only 2 that are not going into reworks, that are out of the flyable ones right now. All other ships are going to have...
Merlin needs to.
Is that including the Vanduul ones then?
Yes, that includes the Vanduul ones as well.
Cool.
Awesome. Because, and the reason is, now there are some larger ships. States, right? They don't have the damage states, so they need to redo the damage states anyways, right? Yeah. Now, how they work with the Vanduul ships and the components for that, and if they're, we know that we can't use human things on the Vanduul ships and vice versa. So I'm not sure if they're going to have a different component set.
System's the same though.
It's going to be a similar idea, but it's not going to fit the same. Yeah. Right? The plugs won't match up, kind of thing.
Of course not. Like, we can't take our 300i power plant and put it on there.
It's like the Vanduul have UK power outlets in the wall, and all other human ships have North American ones. They don't work. They do the same thing. The plugs are different.
Out of curiosity, does it really hurt in America or Canada if you step on a plug?
Yeah, it can if it's facing up.
So in the UK, the 3-plug caltrop system, as we call it, will just annihilate your foot. I mean, it's just the most painful thing I can think of is stepping on a plug here.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It can hurt, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
It's not as bad as Legos. Really happened to me.
We've got pigs, chickens, and plugs are only natural predators here.
So we're kind of looking at the component system now in the Herald.
Yeah, so I'm going to pause it right here. So we have the light radar, the light power plants, 2 of them here, and the avionics. So you can see that they didn't model these on purpose. But
I thought these were them.
No. Yeah, these are them, green boxes. So this is inside the Herald, which is a very cool ship. And yeah, so we can look on the other side as well. We have another thing of avionics and gravity generators and power plants. So we can see that these are the things you're going to be able to pull out and put in other ships and whatever, and they're going to have to model them to show them. And
so do we think that those power plant slots, like the 3 power plant slots we just saw, do we think that will fit a single large power plant, or is it literally going to be 3 small power plants, or can we get a mixture? Do we?
There won't be.
They're saying it's 3 small.
It'll be smaller ones. They talked about that actually quite a while ago, where they're gonna be just, instead of going with giant power plants that only fit in like 2 ships, it doesn't make sense. It's a lot easier for them to consolidate them into the smaller ones, and then that way they're not only redundant systems that are good for backup, but you can also focus each power plant on a specific system and things like that. So when you're in a bigger ship, say an Idris, for example, you have 30 power plants, and you can use those for specific shields or specific thrusters and things like that. And if one of those goes down, you can then
reroute. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, you can reroute the power to another one. Exactly. So say instead of weapons, you can reroute it to thrusters or whatever.
And they totally talked about that during the ship shape. Matt was definitely talking about that, and that was actually really exciting, because I know now in Arena Commander, when one thing goes out, you're ejecting from your ship, right? So now there's something for that person who's managing your power in your multi-crew ship, your other person in your Super Hornet, or just you yourself in one of your single-player ships to have to manage that stuff. When one thing goes out, you're going to have to reroute power from one of the other power plants to make sure that your shields are staying online, right? And all that stuff. So I think this system is going to be really fun and pretty exciting to play with. So speaking of ship shape, though, and like we said, it was our last one, but on RTV we met the guy who's going to be kind of taking it over.
I missed
Mark
this one.
Hong. Well, it was a quick little hello, and he was pretty camera shy. He is he works on the network and in Austin, Texas at the moment. So he is not like a producer in terms of just another producer in LA or Texas that's working on actual art assets. Like Lisa is. So he came to LA to speak with her and kind of learn the job a little bit. So he's switching departments, and he'll be 100% in LA in December, and I'm assuming making Shipshape from LA in December. But they said he was going to be kind of making hits, like little videos from both places.
Right, yeah, he's going to be doing both San Antonio, or that's where they are, Austin, Texas, right?
Yeah, he's in Austin, Texas, and he's moving to LA to take Lisa's spot.
Right, so I imagine he'll be doing a lot of bouncing back and forth
for the next couple months,
until December. Yeah, so for the next month and a half or whatever while he transitions. And so some Shipshapes will be here, some Shipshapes will be in Texas, or by
and
here,
maybe some weeks
I mean LA.
Yeah,
right.
You know, some weeks we might not have it, but I think he's, if he's half as good and as Lisa, then I think we'll be just fine, right?
Yeah, now
Shipshape was probably, I think, most people's favorite segment.
My only question for that is, how much do you need to be involved in the ship making process to be doing that properly? Now we know that Lisa Ohanian, well, also known as Shipshape herself, she was working off of a pretty strict script. But that was, I don't know whether that was something she put together or was because she was working on the ships or doing something specific herself. Whereas this guy is a network engineer, right? From what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So
or maybe a producer that focuses on that side.
Right. Right.
Right.
But so how much do they know about that, or are they going to have to take time outside of the show as well to go and talk to the people that are creating these ships, because he's not involved with it directly himself? Is kind of what I'm thinking along the lines of, right?
Well, he's taking over her job, and her job is a producer that is directly focused on the ship pipeline.
Okay, so he's moving from what he's doing.
Texas to LA to take her job now that she has left.
Okay.
So he will be directly involved in all that stuff.
Okay.
So basically, he's going to know what's going on, and whatever he feels like sharing with us at the time, he can. Right?
Right. I want to take this time really quickly just to remind people of a couple things. First off, we have a Merlin giveaway happening right now. What is it? Exclamation point Merlin?
Yes.
Okay. You have to be following both Twerk and my channel to win that, and we will check that at the end. Twitch does not sponsor or endorse any of our giveaways. Second is we also have the Redacted Shirts happening right now. We have a little competition. We're going to make Twerk 17 sing Scatman. So what I need you to do is I need you guys to buy the Team Red shirt so we can make sure that he sings Scatman live on stream.
Hashtag FTeamBlue.
Yeah.
FTeamRed. Fuck.
See?
I did it wrong.
We've got it into his mind. But yeah, I just wanted to remind people of those things. And if you haven't already, just a reminder that if you want to watch Redacted live, it's going to be on either Twerk17 or my channel. And afterwards, it'll be on BoredGamer UK's YouTube channel. So make sure that you're subscribed to him on YouTube as well.
Board, go ahead and put your link in the chat if you don't mind.
Now, we are going to, at the end of this episode, we are going to have questions, and we're going to be taking questions. And we have a new system that we're going to be doing that. If you're watching this live on Twitch TV, exclamation point question in chat. Is that the command? Just question?
Yes.
Okay.
The word question.
Yeah, that matches what's on my mind, so that's good. Exclamation point question. You can ask questions throughout the episode. Make sure it's relevant to the podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description below where you can ask questions for the next Redacted and get your voice heard on that. So if for whatever reason you can't make it to the live show and you're watching this on BoredGamer's channel, check in the description below. There's a Google form there, and you can ask as many questions as your little heart desires. Just make sure that they are relevant questions. If we find out that it's spam or any of that stuff, we're probably never going to answer any of your questions ever again. So make sure you keep it relevant to the podcast, Star Citizen, and the hosts and or guests that are going to be on the show. Sorry about cutting you off. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew about that stuff. And let's continue to the character rigs.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the things that they were willing to tell us about. And I'm really excited, and this is one of the biggest parts of this podcast that I was like super excited about, the conversation that we're going to have about what do we think we're going to see, because we know we're going to see characters at CitizenCon. So will it mostly be the actors?
We're going to see juking Vanduul. I think that's all it's been leading up to.
I think we're going to see aliens. Like all of them potentially. I don't know, like any.
I think
definitely Vanduul. I think definitely Vanduul.
We're gonna see maybe a little into the background of what happened with the motion capture.
Yes.
And people in their funny suits with the dots on them. I also think we're gonna see some of the hero animations, right? That are special ones that maybe stand out to Chris Roberts or anybody else that are like, yeah, this is really awesome, right? Maybe somebody standing on a pile of maybe standing on a pile of Vanduul, you know, something that you wouldn't see a normal character do or a normal player do, but something like that. We know, we might see Vanduul. We might see some of the aliens we haven't seen yet, right? We've seen the alien or the Vanduul head in Cubby Blast. Right, which is really cool. You're able to go up to that. If for those of you who don't know where that is, it's on the counter in Cubby Blast, and you can go right up to it, and you can sort of see the detail that they have on the head and the texture and what it looks. It looks kind of like a turtle head. It's with fangs, right? They kind of look like a Ninja Turtles, but no, they are pretty cool looking. And I hope that we maybe see the Tavaran. Like, I know that the Kurthak, I think the Kurthak are supposed to be unknown if they're in the game, but we know that they're in the game. But I want to see Xion, right? What they've done with that. I know they're supposed to be more turtley for the Turtle Club.
I wonder if they've decided on how they're actually supposed to pronounce it. Because there's a lot of debate about that still.
Yeah.
I think...
Xion.
I think I don't think even after the official things, I'm going to call them Xion because that's.
We've been calling him that for 2 years.
We've been calling him that for 2 years. I'm not going to be able to break it. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, it will be cool. I think we're also going to see. I think they announced that we're going to get the full actor list as well.
They did say that, indeed.
Right, so I wonder if they're going to have some of those actors there for CitizenCon.
I made a joke the other day on another podcast. I said it was going to be Warwick Davies, Peter Dinklage, and Wee Man. I was surprised because the cast list was a bit shorter than I expected.
Oh, God!
And no one got it. No one appreciates comedy.
This is why, BoredGamer. You don't have enough kids to be making dad jokes like that.
I am. I'm so dad jokey. I realised that the other day, and I was like, my jokes are all dad jokes. Shit.
Yeah. But it's only 3 days away, guys. I don't know. Like, I'm just so excited.
Whoa. No, in 3 days' time, we would have seen everything by now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's less than 3 days away now.
I know.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Is anyone in chat actually coming to CitizenCon and wants to buy me a drink?
Okay, do me a favor. Type 1 in chat if you're going to CitizenCon, if you're watching this on Twitch. If you are going to CitizenCon and you see this before on YouTube, let BoredGamer know, and I'm sure he'll be happy to meet up with you.
/ buy me a drink.
One of your drinks.
/ get him really drunk. And maybe he'll be nice and give you one of his ships or something.
It's going to be the most ghetto of cosplays. It cost me $30, and it was from stuff I made just from around my room.
Sometimes those are the best ones, though.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I'll get a jump at $8.90.
Hopefully.
That's what we're there for. I mean, that's the reason.
That's the only reason I'm really going.
He's going.
I want an $8.90 jump. So 1.3. There's some things going on with that. 1.3 is the first build to come after the merge, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to contain all the mergy stuff as well. All of the mergy stuff.
Right. Now, we know that the game dev stream has been merged already. Right? And that's the whole reason that the last PTU never came to live, I believe, is the reason for that. So yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, who wants to talk about this? Who wants to tackle this topic?
I guess since I wrote this in, I'll tackle it, because the reason I wrote it in was not because of what it says, because I think we kind of know that 1.3 will be the first build to come after the merge, because the merge happened and we don't have a build yet. It's pretty obvious, right? But
we don't really know what 1.3 is going to have, because they've been a bit conflicted. They said it was basically going to be 1.2.1a with some extra stuff for the social module and balance changes and lots of extra stuff. But they've also said that it might be the baby PU, and now it might be both.
Yeah, it's like, what? So basically on 10 for the writers, which again, this is a writer, not a developer, not a producer, not any of that. It is a writer, but he has been working hard on writing things for 1.3. And he mentioned 1.3 as the baby PU. But Ben on RTV just a few days earlier mentions 1.3 as just back-end stuff.
I think they thought they were going to have the patch. They were going to have the patch out by then, by the time that ATV went live, I think.
I have an idea that nobody really knows what's going on with the patch that we're getting, and they don't know what they're calling it, because there's been so much confusion on what's happening with the game dev stream, and you can't really fault them for that, because I imagine it's confusing, right? So some people, it's not their job to know what the patch is. Like, for example, the writers, let's be honest, they have there's no reason they need to know what the patches are. They're writing the story, they're writing the lore and all of this other stuff, unless it's something that directly affects.
I would say this is the only thing that I have a problem with CIG and Star Citizen about at all. I would very much like them to be negative about release dates. I want them to say, not for 2 weeks, guys, definitely not for 2 weeks. So I don't have to think about content for the next 2 weeks about that. And then if they surprise me, great, everyone's happy. It's great. It's like, oh my god, it's early. Yeah, exactly. But so at the moment, I'm like, CitizenCon's coming up. I know things are happening, but I'm assuming baby PU, and I think a lot of other people are as well. We're going to be a little bit upset if it doesn't come out then. I know it's going to come out very soon afterwards, like within a week or a few days. But we'll still have this sort of like, oh, I didn't get my Christmas present, and I'd rather them say it's not going to happen. Like, I don't know. I'd rather be, I'd rather not be disappointed, like, at the time.
I kind of think that the reason that they were doing work for the baby PU is 1.3 isn't just 1.3.0. 1.3 is going to be 1.3.0, 1.3.1, and following patches. So maybe 1.3 is the original merge build, and then we get into the baby PU after. That's potentially something that could happen, right? And maybe that's what he was referencing to. But I just noticed that little conflict of information there and got kind of interested. So like, are we going to get the baby PU or are we not? What comes first? What's happening? I'm confused.
I need an adult.
Help. I need an adult.
You can tell it's a patch by the way it is.
If people believe enough, so if everyone in the chat believes enough, if you two believe enough, we'll get the baby PU. It's all about, it's about if you believe in fairies and PUs, you get them.
It's like what your parents told you. You can be whatever you want to be.
Listen,
as long as you work at it, right?
I want to be a persistent universe.
You said tomorrow.
I want to be in a persistent universe. That's all.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Oh my god.
Don't.
Do it!
So anyways, we did mention the Endeavor earlier. It is still on sale. They've made about $1 million, and probably over $1 million since at this point now that the last time I checked. And the QA Part 1 went up on, Friday? And there's some interesting stuff there. And the QA Part 2 should be up today. And maybe during this podcast, as it's live, so we can maybe kind of discuss it as it's live on the cast. But as of now, I don't think it's up just yet. And but we can discuss a little bit of what the Q&A stuff said. So For example, one of the things that I thought was interesting was that we're going to see the Explorer section, so the people that did buy it, when the ship becomes hangar ready, we're probably going to see the Explorer inside of our hangar. And we're going to be able to investigate it that way, which is pretty cool. So the front section...
No one cares about the Explorer part. I want to make drugs in the back.
I know, nobody really does care about the Explorer part, but we will be able to detach it and see it in hangar. But hey, just remember, the Explorer part can do some of the functionality of the other ship, right? Because it's got to separate and get into maybe like little smaller areas, but still be able to function as a science
and the maneuvering. It's the maneuvering thrusters that are important on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know it's going to be heavily armored and everything as well, and it doesn't look like there's any weapons on the Explorer part, only on the space station-y part.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think there might be something there, but I can't imagine that there wouldn't, right? But, yeah, so, like, the rest of the ship is going to dry dock in orbit, and I thought one of the more important things that they talked about, and this was on our RTV as well this week, was that they still don't have that solution kind of figured out. Like, even going back to the Idris, no, the Idris cannot fit in your hangar, was what they always said. Well, then what do we do with our Idris? And they're like, well, you might just leave it outside of a hangar, outside of a planet in orbit, and maybe people can steal it. And we were like, what? No. We just spent this much money and you're going to let people steal our ships? So then they're kind of like figuring it out still. But the one thing that they did said is that our ships will be safe in safe locations.
Whatever it is, it'll be safe. And what I think they're going to do is they're going to have something where you can dock to that is safe no matter where you are. If you are out in the fringes of the universe, and you're a big bad mini pirate like myself, you have the asteroid hangar, and maybe you can dock to something that connects to your asteroid hangar outside of it, and that whole thing sort of despawns when you're not online. Yeah. Whereas if you are a good guy or you have a planet side location, there'll be satellites that go around, like larger space stations or something that you can dock to, and then they have, if your ship does not have its own little transport, there's their own transports that go back and forth in between the planet and the thing. I think that's how they'll do it, but
because there's so many NPCs in the world, and it's going to be primarily a PvE-ish game, really. I mean, there's got to be PvP in there because you will see humans, and you can do that if you want. I don't see any problem with them despawning lots of ships. Like, they go, okay, your science part of your endeavor, the back section, the workshop, is in orbit. That can despawn while it's in orbit, or it can become just instantized for you. I mean, I don't see any problem
with that. Or it could turn into an NPC ship.
How about they're going to have to despawn it?
So it despawns as a player ship, but like it never really disappears. It turns into an NPC ship is orbiting around.
Or something like that. I mean, you can make them semi-safe for people, even so that they don't lose out. I mean, I try not to be too care-beary. Like, I do want there to be risk. It's important for there to be financial risk in the game for your UEC credits and for your time. That gives you a very good sense of mortality, like the death system, but also that you'll get damaged, and it was risk reward and that sort of stuff. So I'm not saying that, but I am saying that because you're going to be fighting primarily NPCs, that if stuff doesn't despawn properly or doesn't de-instantize, you could just get mobbed by spawning in NPCs and stuff. So I don't know. We have to see what they do.
Well, in my opinion, they're going to have to remove them from instances, because if there is 1 million backers of this game practically, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more soon.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more soon. So if we're talking that many large ships docking around Terra, if they don't de-instance them, if they don't remove them from the game, there's going to be 1 million ships docked around Terra, and we're going to have a slideshow FPS.
Well, no. So there's going to be multiple instances of that area.
That's true, but then they're going to if they have to do that, then there's going to be so many instances that the servers would be full. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to not have them despawn, right?
Eventually there'll be 1 million Idris, and then we'll go, where do they park?
Where do they park, and why can't I see the planet? Because I just see ships in front of me. You know what I mean?
Spiky planet.
Yeah, it would just be ridiculous. So, like, in those safe areas, it would have to be like that. But the example that you gave, Saurus, I don't know. Because your asteroid hangar might not be in a safe area where your ship can despawn, right? Maybe that's there'll be areas where you can't log out safely.
I don't imagine they're gonna have your hangar that's not safe.
Yeah, but
right?
maybe, but your hangar is out in a not safe area, is what I'm saying. Maybe your asteroid hangar is in a safe logout zone, and maybe it's not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like what I'm saying is there is going to have to be, because of the way that they've already explained how they want to make sure that hangars are safe, that they can't just have enemy players running around in your hangar, right?
Yeah.
And stealing your stuff. And even if, say for example, my hangar is in Nyx or Spider, right? Which are generally gray area things that anybody can kind of do their own thing. I imagine wherever the player hangars are in that area is sort of like a safe zone, right? Okay. So maybe they have something that makes that a safe zone, and they just need to figure out the mechanics to do that. So whether it's guarded by a mercenary NPC pirate org that everybody who's there is friendly with, no matter what, then maybe that's how they can do it or something like that. But yeah, they're gonna have to figure out a mechanic that makes sense to do that, because that's the only way they're gonna be able to do it. Because if they don't do that, right? What about the pirates? Like, you can't say, okay, well, it's not equal playing field for the pirates and the other people, because what if those pirates are only playing PvE, right? Or what if they're only playing whatever? They can't.
PvE pirates.
I'm sure it'll be a thing. Oh my God. Mark my words.
It will definitely be a thing, for sure.
It'll definitely be a thing. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they sort of implement that solution. Like I said, and how we talk about it a lot on the podcast, a lot of it is speculation from our behalf. I'm sure they may have thought about that already, but who knows?
Yeah. All the stuff we say is 100% fact, vetted by our legal department.
Oh my God. Let me just remind everybody that we are taking questions as well. ! Question in chat if you have any questions for the podcast about the game, for BoredGamer, Twerk, or myself specifically. So make sure you fill that out. If you have any questions, we will not be taking questions from the chat. We will only be taking questions from our new system. So just a heads up there. If you, once again, if you are watching this on YouTube, the link is in the description down below.
I want to talk about the red light district.
You would.
You would.
You would.
It's important.
Well, that's kind of what we're kind of going to talk about, something like that. So it was a good what is it, transition to the next subject, which is phase 2 of Area 18 is going to be opening soon to us.
So this looks like it's going to be the first stage of the persistence patch they were talking about for the social module. It might be all of it. Hopefully, it will be all of the persistence stuff. So we'll see the Kasaba opening. We've got the new construction zone. We've got some dodgy dealings happening in the construction zone. A little bit of red lightiness. And they did hint, Twerk, about those buggies coming out of the hangar.
They did.
Oh,
how exciting is that? I think out of everything that's been announced so far this week, I might be the most excited about that.
Well, it's just going to
racing, shooting people's buggies, maybe bumping into other people's buggies and breaking them. It's going to be like the content level is going to go up so much for my stream.
But there's going to be two major things from that. Bug hunting in buggies is going to be amazing. Because you'll just be trying to glitch through a wall in a buggy now. Boom.
Yeah.
Amazing. But also, there's going to be so many skins sold for the different coloured buggies.
Oh,
they're going to go like,
because
I want to pimp mine.
Be showing it off. Yeah, you got to be big pimping in the PU, you know? That's a good point. Boom. I haven't bought a skin yet, and I probably will buy one now.
I've got cherry red. I got cherry red buggy.
I have my stealth skin. I have a black one.
Nice. I remember you buying.
Are you the only one who doesn't have a skin?
Twerk? I might be the only one that doesn't have a skin for my buggy. I like the way it looks. Am I off the podcast?
Crucify the outsider. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bye, guys.
No skin. Terrible.
Have you not even got a Kappa Pride skin for your Aurora?
I don't have a Kappa Pride skin for my Aurora.
Oh
no.
my God.
That skin is amazing.
It is so cool. I never saw it in game until the other day. By the way,
occasionally have hornets flying around me, just looking at me rather than fighting me.
Yeah, because it's like, what is going on with that Aurora? He is full of pride.
So the South by Southwest 2015 skin is actually awesome.
Yeah, it is so cool looking.
Neapolitan, or yeah, it's very, very bright.
Kappa.
Very bright.
Kappa pride.
It's very Kappa pride.
Yeah. So with that, I think we know that right now for our corp, we're seeing about 33% of the final size of it. We know that you can, glitch behind fences and things like that. There's other landing zones and things like that. I'm just wondering how much more they're going to be opening up, if they're going to be opening up the Kasab outlet, if they're going to be adding more NPCs and stuff there in the near future, what's going on with that kind of stuff. I'm really, really, I know you guys are really excited about the buggies, but that's not as exciting as more explorable stuff to me in Area 18.
You can explore in that new area in your buggy.
Yeah. And you can smash it against that area and break it.
This is a kind of a design issue I have with it as well. Is you see the charging stations for the buggies, right? But
that's what they're for.
To go everywhere, there's stairs in the way.
You can go up the stairs in the buggy.
I do
it all the time. You just gotta boost.
You just gotta boost. I know.
Where are the stairs? There's only a couple. There's only a couple of walk roads.
No, to go to the alley, there's stairs. To go across the bridge, there's stairs.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be driving your buggy in the alley.
No, okay. I'm not okay.
Yes,
the alley,
because that's where you run people over.
But to go across the bridge, there's stairs, right? To go back to the other landing pad, there's stairs.
But the idea is that you're supposed to leave your buggy next to there. It's got to be you've got to park your buggy there.
Oh, so you drive 10 feet and then you get out.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad.
We take our buggies down there. We run over all the hobos and clean up the streets. That's what we're doing with our buggies, guys.
Yeah. You need to run up to get up the stairs.
There's too much garbage and
unless
stuff
they add like a ramp
alleys
on the side of the stairs that's sort of like wheelchair ramps that you could sort of drive up then that would fix that problem.
I feel a whole new concern thread coming along. There's no wheelchair ramps on any of the stairs.
Oh god.
I'm so triggered. So triggered.
Yeah. And why do we have stairs in the future? Why aren't everything just not escalators? We have escalators now.
We don't even need stairs. We just need hover boots, and then we can just build everything up. Boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just get rid of stairs, ramps everywhere.
Yep. Right, okay, yeah, let's do ramps.
Let's just ramps everywhere. Yeah.
Spider-Man up.
How about those flat escalators that you just don't have to walk?
Yeah, those walkways. They have them in airports, yeah.
Yeah, just bring you around everywhere. Stop. You're always busting on me about my sound effects, man. They're excellent.
I think they should transfer all the planets. We don't need explorable planets. We just need a really good Amazon surface in the future that just brings everything that we want to us. Yeah. So we don't even need ships. We could just sit at our homes, just ordering from Amazon. In fact, I think that exists already in the form of Amazon.
It does. Yeah. You can get 1 hour delivery in some cities in the States. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
I'm so jealous.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Let's move forward onto the Archimedes and the fact that Gurmok is working on it. Now, for those of you who don't know Gurmok's work, you probably do. It is stuff like this. Let me just pull it up here for you guys. So things
it's like beautiful. It's blinded me.
He's the only concept artist in LA.
What?
So that's pretty strong. That I think they have them working on all sorts of other things, and I think he is so talented and around there that he stays there, and he doesn't have to go to the other places where most concept ship artists are. I feel like they have like a ship group in certain places, and he doesn't have to go there because he's just that good, right? I mean,
the character is so good.
Yeah, like I don't know if these ships would have been as amazing as... I don't think they would have sold as well as they did if somebody else may have concepted them. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, for example, a long-range fighter doesn't sound that exciting to me, at least. But when I saw the concept, I wanted it.
When you see this painting,
I wanted it.
It's like... It's
I had to hold back because it's just so cool. Especially them lined up, getting ready to launch. Like, come on. Come on. That is so cool. And also, he's going to be doing some sort of live event of him actually, like, how he concepts things. So I'm going to post the link to the description of that in the chat now.
It's going to be him looking into a camera, just pointing to his head, thinking.
Yeah, they had mentioned it briefly on RTV, I think, and I'm not 100% sure what it is and what's going to be going on. I think it's at some event in LA. I don't think it's actually going to be live streamed, even though it says it's on livestream.com. I'm not sure what's going on, but there's something with Gurmak tomorrow that he's going to be showing some stuff off. So he won't be at CitizenCon. He's actually going to be doing this thing. And I think it's pretty cool. So if any of you guys are interested in kind of his process, we might get to see a little bit of it. So check out that link. But that's really it. I mean, what do you guys think the differences will be from the P52 to the P72? Do you think it's just going to be, you know, more power, more firepower?
It's going to be more customizable. Different? I think it's going to be very similar in the size and shape. There may be some shape differences, but not drastic. What I think the big thing is we know that we can't swap out anything on the P52, right? There's no modularity at all for weapons or anything like that. You can't change those things. Whereas on the P72, I think we're going to see a lot more, and it may be able to survive a lot easier as its own ship, right? Okay. So whereas the Merlin,
maybe it'll have more
refuel, right? Well, maybe the Archimedes can refuel itself, right? Maybe it's just.
I think it's still going to be a snub-nosed fighter. I think
it'll still be a snub-nosed fighter, but I think it'll have the opportunity
extra features
for those extra features,
maybe more
and to survive a lot easier on its own and not be as reliant on its mothership as the P52 Merlin.
I would expect it to be one level of power plant and one level of shield higher, and then possibly have an extra size gun. So a size
and just look sexier in some way.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's going to be curvier, more triangular, or more square. But I know they're going to go with one of them and really go with one of them because that's the sort of thing they do.
Yeah, they got to change the design a bit.
For those people that are interested in sort of seeing the processes or hearing about the processes of Gurmak, there is something happening. When is this happening here? We have
tomorrow.
A link.
I posted a link in the chat before. I'll do it again. It's happening tomorrow.
And you can find this, I'm sure BoredGamer will be kind enough to post this in the description below the video as well.
Yes,
Crafting Star Citizens 3D Concepts. It's going to be a discussion plus Q&A with Noman, I think I'm pronouncing that right, with Gurmak Basin. So that's would be really cool. Definitely check that out. And that will be on livestream.com. Let's move forward to
the monthly
report, which is
Why didn't we get it?
Because we're getting it on Friday or on Saturday. Sorry, they're holding it for CitizenCon.
It's got to be because they finished some stuff. It's got to be because they finished big things they're holding back for CitizenCon, and they don't want to tell us, otherwise it would be a spoiler.
I mean, and that's what we've been saying this whole time, right? Is if they're finished something this close to CitizenCon, it's kind of dumb to release it like 5 days early, when instead they know that everybody's eyes are going to be on CitizenCon, especially after all the other shit that's been going on right now. So if the more combo blows and whatever that they have, the better it's going to be for them. So it just makes sense for them to sort of, if this would have been stuff that we should have seen 2-3 weeks ago, then I think we would have seen it. But the fact that it's probably like in that weird zone right before this, it just makes sense for them to hold it for a couple days.
Yeah,
you know, I think it builds more hype for all of us.
So this was another thing that they did speak about on RTV, and Ben specifically said everything's done. It's up. They have it. The monthly report's done. Everyone wrote their monthly report as if CitizenCon already happened. So all the information that's there is information that we're going to see at CitizenCon, because it just didn't make sense for them to say, oh, we're working on things, but we can't talk about it, right? So they just said, write it as if CitizenCon happened, and then as soon as CitizenCon happens, we'll throw it on the website, and yeah, it'll be fun. So that's why we haven't seen it. So just in case you guys were wondering why it was there, I thought it would be a good topic to just kind of briefly go over and say it's coming soon, and it's going to be everything that we saw at CitizenCon.
If anyone
and then more
wants
maybe.
To see, if anyone wants to see what I look like with facial hair, please click on the link that ID KFA has just linked.
Oh God, I don't know.
Oh boy,
it's amazing.
Oh wow, you're beautiful.
It's
I look like
we're gonna need to get you. We're gonna need to get you one of those toques. I guess the Americans call them beanies, but I don't know what British people call them. But that have the beard knitted into them that you can just wear, so you can fit in with the rest of us.
We call them a woolen hat or a cheap man's hat.
You call them
buy a proper hat. Buy a proper hat.
What do you mean a proper hat? You need something that covers your ears here in Canada. It gets cold up in the Great White North, eh?
As long as you're not wearing it indoors, it'll be fine. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't. Have you ever seen me wear one of those? Some people do. You know?
Some people do, yeah.
I see you wearing earmuffs all the time. Earmuffs indoors. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. You're doing it too.
A good example of someone who wears a toque or a beanie, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, is Carnage. Yeah.
Every day.
Wears it all the time.
How disgusting do you think that thing must be? Or does he have like a million of them?
Dude, what you gotta do is you gotta pull it off and just get... Smell it.
You occasionally just baby wipe the inside of your head and it's fine.
Well, that's if you don't have hair. Yeah, I wouldn't want to baby wipe. Like, come on, think of the, stop being so anti-hair. Jeez. Let's move on to the Empire reports and the Artemis lore posts. We've seen a lot of
some interesting lore posts.
A lot of interesting lore posts that have got the community
this is my favorite thing that's happened this week.
In an uproar.
Good.
Twitter's been blowing up, with this kind of stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Empire report, the Vanduul attack.
See, this was so good. This got me so hyped for CitizenCon. It's a nice little fluff piece, just talking about the Vanduul happening at the moment, like live in game, effectively, live in our current timeline. Have attacked the Orion, not Orion. That's Armitage. What system have they attacked?
Vega system.
This is the Vega system. Yep.
And we lost contact with them. We lost, and it was like, oh, so what's this about? And we know a little bit about Squadron 42, that the first mission, or it might be to do with Vega. We saw a while ago, we saw one of the first pages of Squadron 42's kind of like opening sequence that was not leaked, but kind of talked about. That was in the Vega system, and CitizenCon's coming up so soon. But this story made people go absolutely roleplay hype.
I'm still scrolling through comments.
It was so fun. Ben and a few other guys started it off. They gave the genesis to a load of people just talking about, oh, we need assistance here. Oh, what's happening here? Have you got any information about these guys? Whatever. And then just thousands of people joined in. It was
like I'm still scrolling through comments on the page itself. This isn't including anything that was posted on Reddit, which Reddit blew up with this. This isn't anything from Twitter, which Twitter also blew up with this.
It was a roleplay Twitter flash mob. That's the only way I can describe it. It was, it absolutely. It was so fun, and everyone was getting involved. No one was being a dick. Well, if they were doing it in character. And people were asking each other to do missions, and people were going, "Yes, I'm going to do that." And then later on, they were telling the story of their little mission and asking for another one, and they were like, oh, we've got some pilots down here, go and rescue them. And the other people were going, I think some people were pretending to nom and steal ships and stuff as well. It was really good. It was just so well done.
And all of this because of 4 paragraphs.
Yep.
Well,
that's what started this.
Yeah, And it evolved more as well, because we got the next part of that story, which was the
New Corvo and
Post.
Ruins.
Yeah,
the Artemis Post, New Corvo and Ruins. And this one is obviously quite a bit longer. And is this a trend we're going to see coming up to, and with Squadron 42, as they're going to be releasing more content and stuff, is more of the story behind this? I think that this is a huge lead up to what they want to release at CitizenCon for Squadron 42. And this is the sort of epic start that they said that they actually kickstarted for as a stretch goal. They wanted, instead of starting in a tutorial area, they want to start us in this crazy epic battle and all of this other stuff, and this is the perfect setup for that. This also pays sort of homage a little bit to Operation Pitchfork, which they said they want to sort of include in this as well, and sort of set some things up for the players for that.
We know that they're doing something for that at CitizenCon, Operation Pitchfork. We know that something is happening, Operation Pitchforky, at CitizenCon.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that might just be them talking about a letter or some other stuff, but yeah, something good is happening.
The one thing that blows my mind about this is very it's just kind of crazy for me, because I've read the lore about the Vega system, and I wrote some like interesting notes in the doc here about, like, in the Vega system galactic guide, it's like it's a beautiful planet. The terraforming process, like, while it happened, all these plants and animals actually thrived, and instead of having to be brought to the planet from other planets, they actually developed and became their own there. So it's like very unique and interesting, and a place that's kind of interesting to visit. There's a population boom happening. There's lots of farmland. It was noted as a planet to watch, like, as far as like from a magazine called New United, which might be like a real estate magazine or something. And then all of a sudden, boom, it gets attacked.
It prompted me to look at the Armitage and all the other Vanduul stories though as well. To go, are there any similarities between the planets? What are the Vanduul doing? I got really into it.
Yeah, what hints did we get coming up to this? And
a lot of other people got into it as well, because after that document came out, a load of people on Reddit started dropping roleplay threads everywhere. I think I saw like almost 100 of them just appear, and then loads of people chatting. And there was some that I were like, oh my god, more drama. It was like wake up citizens. I was like, oh my god, more drama. Boom. Oh my god, this is a really good RP post. 500 upvotes. And I was like, oh my god. And it was just, everyone's getting into it, and it's just really nice to see the community get together and do something a bit fun and a bit silly and a bit hypey.
Yeah. Well, I think this is one of the things I was going to mention before, was anytime the game starts feeling alive, like it starts coming together, this is when we all just like, it's just like, yes, like Gamescom was the last time this happened. When you saw multi-crew things happen, people going into derelict ships, it's like the stuff we've been dreaming about in our heads, we just saw it. You know?
I didn't feel like this before Gamescom. I didn't get the massive amount of excitement.
Like they're building it up, and then they're gonna like build it up. Like it's still, I don't know if we're not gonna get Squadron 42 at CitizenCon. No chance in hell. So
if you don't believe, Twerk, thanks, you just killed the fairies.
Well, come on,
thanks.
Guys, we just talked about the component system.
Yeah, no worries, man.
You have to believe.
Doesn't matter.
It's got to be in there for the game to come out, right?
Look, guys, can everyone else in the chat please send your belief to Twerk?
Twerk, are you sure you have the proper form for the questions? Because we have not received any questions yet.
Oh, you're a monster. Got no questions, guys? Maybe these guys start asking questions.
Let me just post it in chat again, and make sure that you have the proper one, because I'm looking at this.
I didn't know that there was ever a new one.
Yeah, there's a new one, and I posted it in chat earlier today when I said to make sure you had it.
We don't look at that. Boom.
And to make sure that you had the right one, and I let you know the other day because I had to reformat the way that the changes are. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to take the time to give everybody to ask their questions again. You have a different one than I do. So grab the link that I posted in chat and change your update there, because that form does no longer exist.
I've just posed a question to you, Twerk. Can you see that? You see that, Twerk? Yeah? Can you see?
So if you guys have a question, do me a favor, use the link that I posted in chat until Twerk updates the command, and we will make sure to answer that. Also, let me remind you guys of our awesome redacted shirts and the competition we have going on. Whoever sells the most shirts doesn't have to sing a sing-song. So we want to sing a song called Scatman, and we want Twerk to sing that song. So that's the song no, what's gonna happen for us anyways on Team Red is I'm gonna give my community, we're gonna get them involved, and we're gonna have a vote on what song we want you to sing.
I was gonna do the same thing.
So there you go.
By Scissor Sisters. Oh, okay, yeah.
There's all kinds of good things out there. For us to sing. But if you'd like to see Twerk sing, pick up a Team Red shirt. If you'd like to see me sing, pick up a Team Blue shirt. If you want to see both of us sing or none of us sing, make sure to pick up both.
So duo if it's a tie, yeah?
If it's a tie, we're both gonna do it. There's no way nobody's not singing something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can get them to sing Wrecking Ball. Maybe we could. There's all kinds of
Firework.
Things
oh my
out
god,
there.
You have to cry while singing Firework.
Also, another reminder: we do have the Merlin giveaway happening right now. You must be following both mine and Twerk's channel to enter this. Make sure you throw BoredGamer a subscribe on the YouTubes as well.
You don't have to. You don't have to. The main thing is you're following Saurus's work this week, but next week we're going to be more strict with any fucking giveaways. You deal with that.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out a whole other system.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out.
You guys can't weasel around. But yeah, so once again, guys, if you have any questions, fill out that form that was just in there. Type !question. If you typed one in previously, you're gonna have to type it again. I'm sorry for those of you that wrote a novel question.
Yeah, sorry guys.
But yeah, it's better that it comes to my attention now than at the end of the podcast, and people are like, "What do you mean I didn't ask a question? I asked questions." And for next week, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the question form in the comments or in the description below.
And you can ask the question on my channel or Saurus's channel throughout the week. And the link will be on BoredGamer's video as well. So you can ask the questions for the next week.
That's right.
Leading up to it. So now it's not something that we have to kind of just do during the live event. It
depends whether I put the right link. I might not put the right link in the video. I don't know. It just depends how I feel.
It depends on how it feels that day. You know. I guess. Do we want to? Let's touch on.
I don't want to touch on anything anymore. I'm done.
He's done.
Twerk's mad. Sorry, Twerk.
I'm done with you guys.
No, don't be like that. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so let's deal with this elephant in the room.
Okay. Is it time?
Is it the Endeavour? Because that looks like an elephant. Oh, I see. We're getting a bit dramatic.
We're getting bum bum bum. I feel like I need dramatic music in the background.
It's alright.
Next time, I'll have dramatic music queued up.
I see a little silhouette of a boy. Scaramouche.
Well, I just hang on. Actually, there's a way that I can do this. I'm sure.
It's dramatic.
Just like sad dramatic music in the background. I'm not gonna do it, but.
Oh no, that's a really good idea actually. No worries.
Oh.
Sad and dramatic.
Oh my god.
How do you mute somebody on Skype?
We'll find out next week.
Just mute the whole stream.
Oh god. Okay, so in all seriousness, basically I'll give a quick synopsis of what happened and how everything all led up to the point that we're at right now.
We are all a bit like, we don't really want to talk about it, but we have to because it is on the main RSI website, and we just talk about it a little bit.
You can't not notice it if you're paying attention to Star Citizen or gaming news, as I put in quotations here, in general. So first things first, we all know about a certain developer that likes to make space games that's been doing everything he can to kind of discredit the project, to try and...
Let's call him DS1 to protect his identity.
Okay, so we will call it DS1. DS0 sounds better. So DS0 has been making all kinds of pot shots and all kinds of other stuff, you know, corroborating with what seems to be disgruntled ex-employees and possibly current employees of CIG. Whether that's true,
all of this is allegedly.
It's all allegedly, all alleged, all hearsay. We want to make that very clear. We need to have some sort of warning. You know what we need? We need some sort of big stamp that comes in over the podcast, like a video overlay, that just stamps in and goes, whoosh, drama. Whoosh. Yeah, exactly. So he's been making these posts and blowing up on Twitter and all this other stuff. Apparently, they're trying to do as much damage as possible, and in the meantime, getting laughed at quite a bit.
So, but what he says is that he is trying to bring attention to the fact that the game is possibly a con.
It's a con and a failure, and
what it looks like empirically, because we can look by the actual numbers and what he's actually doing. It looks like he's just trying to burn the game as much as possible, and in fact posts saying, "I just want to burn it all down." I mean, those are the words he used, I believe. Right. So, yeah, it looks like he just wants to damage everything. Can be a bit of a troll.
Right. So moving forward from that, just recently there was an article that was made. Now there's been lots of articles made by all kinds of gaming publications on how that Star Citizen is a huge risk, that there are you know, that it is very ambitious, that it has the possibility of failing, that
there's delays,
that there's all kinds of things that are allegations and stuff like that, but
they're normally balanced opinion pieces.
Yeah, it's all speculation. It's all speculation.
Yeah. And that's made clear.
And there was an escapist article, and I'm going to use this person's name. Lizzie Finnegan is the one who wrote this, because this is public knowledge. And she has written an article about CIG, and that stuff is in there. The could Star Citizen fail? Is it a scam? Is it too ambitious for what it is? Right. Is it too ambitious for what it is? Is money being embezzled? Those are all questions, and I feel, even though I don't agree with those questions, and I think that if you pay attention to even a small amount of the content that comes out of CIG, if you just open your eyes, it's hard to ask those questions. However, I do respect the fact that she has the right to ask those questions. However,
yeah, I mean, that piece is not balanced, but it's fine. It's not a
yeah. It is what it is. And then there was another article that was published that basically says and treats things as fact, and says things in quotes. Things like, I'm not going to repeat what was said because I don't feel comfortable repeating it, but things like saying that Sandy Gardner is a racist, saying things that there is basically racism and harassment within the workplace that is highly legal, not only on a state level where they're located, but also on a federal level. And these are allegations that are being quoted as truths. And the problem is, just give me 1 second here. The problem is with those truths, they're coming from anonymous sources where we have no way of verifying, and the ways that the author of the article has said they verified them is basically does not line up with either what she's saying, so i.e. they're appearing on the Glassdoor, or they are word for word what Derek Smart has said, or DS1s or Zero, sorry, or that she's saying that they are employees and they're using citizen ID cards to verify their employee status or pay stubs, which are usually forged. And I'm not saying that this isn't true or anything, but everything that they've said so far doesn't make them credible sources. And so by putting those things out there, in fact, and bringing up things like the racism issue and family things and all of this other stuff, I think that if they would have just kept it to just the, oh my god, Star Citizen's out of money, they're down to $5 left in their bank account, and it's all a huge scam, and they're going to take off to Mexico, I think that article would have been ignored. Right? Because that's easily, if you look for 2 seconds, you can see that that's all just garbage. But the fact that there are some serious federal crimes as not even as allegations, but stated as fact, and then even more so in a podcast that happened afterwards with that was broadcast to, I believe, thousands of viewers, of potential public viewers, then that turns that libel into slander as well.
It must be said, though, that the second article that we were referencing with Lizzie there, where it was called "Employees Speak Out About Their Project Woes," Lizzie is not saying any of it is factual, but it's not made particularly clear. And she's saying that she did corroborate it with multiple sources. Doesn't list any of the sources and uses quote sources as multiple sources or CS1, CS2, and says that lots of them said this, so I'm allowed to type it. It was a very bad bit of journalism. She is not saying for 100% true that it is correct that Sandy Gardner is a racist or anything like that, but she is saying that these sources do all seem to state that she is. In the podcast, however, she did very much talk about it as fact.
Right.
Which was where I was.
I
was like, oh.
The other issue with the article was they had given CIG an opportunity to respond, albeit a short period of time. I believe
24 hours, right?
24 hours or something like that. They got their stuff in 3 hours beforehand, right? They still got it in 3 hours beforehand, responding to every single point. They still did not use it. They still put for whatever reason, there was a rush to get this out, and they couldn't put that in, and apparently they said it got put in their spam folder or whatever garbage that they said.
I mean, so just out of everyone on the chat and everyone that's here currently, how often do you check your spam folder?
Never.
Oh, I see. I check it every time I look at my emails. It's just probably like 30 times a day. You know, there might be something important in there.
Right. Yeah.
I never.
I mean, I treat it's the same thing as my Twitch mail, right? Like I check my normal mail and I check my other just in case. And yeah, so that was in there, especially if you know you're expecting a reply from them. Knowing that the article is very damning, you would think you would be like, are you sure you don't want to respond to this? You probably should. They didn't add anything to it. Even after they got it back and whatever, it was very delayed before anything got in there, and by then the damage was sort of already done.
They did rewrite the article, though, to include it.
They did after the fact. Even though it came in before, they did do it after the fact, and there was all kinds of stuff. So then CIG basically released a statement and a letter saying, look, these are what you're doing is unprofessional and it is damaging to our company. And I'm just giving you the TLDR here, and saying, look, this is what we need you to do. We need you to take down the article. We need you to publicly apologize to Sandy and CIG. And we need you to put in a third party and verify that these sources are what they are, and then you can feel free to post your article or do whatever you can by then. But then you have a third party saying that yes, these are true, that you don't have to involve us to do that, and then we can move forward from there. But you know, CIG is feeling very confident that these are not who they say they are.
Yeah.
In turn, the escapists then basically said, nope, we're not doing any of that. We're going to leave everything up. And then that sort of brings us to where we are.
But we'd love to come to your offices.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, is the and this is before that they did the podcast. CIG said, we welcome you to our offices and see that this is clearly not a scam and that people are working here and everybody does love their job and is, you know, for a lot of people, this is their dream job and whatever. And then after all of this is all taken, they know what the answer is, but they just want to, you know, continue to vilify CIG by saying, "Oh, are we still welcome?" And I think the best plan of action for this is to open that invitation to all other gaming outlets, all other sources, but them. Obviously, they're very biased at this point in time, and there's nothing that they can do that is gonna, like, they're going to just do whatever they can to be super negative about it, right? And push their own narrative. So it doesn't make sense. It's like inviting CIG to go to the Escapist. Obviously, it's going to be biased, and it just doesn't make sense. Why would you do that?
But
at this
obviously, we are all really angry about it, like, because we're lovers of the game. But we advocate massively not to vent your anger on any individual, any troll, any organisation or publication. Honestly, CIG do not need the bad press of us poking the Escapist or poking the S1. We just let's be bigger people and not do it. We can save CIG some money. We can literally make them good PR money by just not attacking back.
Yeah, and I think at this point they're in a pretty good place, right?
Oh yeah, because it has actually increased their funding.
Yeah.
It's brought. This is the thing: is as shitty as it is for CIG, and as stressful as it must be for Sandy right now, and everybody else who's involved and under the microscope right now. It is good for CIG, providing that CIG knocks it out of the park on Saturday, providing that they show new content, which we know they're gonna do on Saturday, providing that we get some tangible things for us to actually use and see in game in the near future. That doesn't necessarily have to be on Saturday, but that has to be soon. And I'm sure they're busting their asses to do that, to basically go, meh, here's in your face, look, are we still this? This is what we've been doing. This is all the tech we've been working on. This is the amount of polish that we've been working on. For anybody who's looking at this, everybody right now, even outside of Star Citizen, even outside of people who are looking at Space Sims, are looking at CIG with a microscope right now. And it just so happens to be that it's CitizenCon, and it's their best chance to show off everything that they possibly can for this. Now I'm gonna do a little self-promotion here. I'm gonna put in my Twitter link again to say retweet that if you do not have the
plugs.
It's all about the plugs. If you want to show your solidarity for CIG and say, hey, look, we got your back, do me a favor, go pick up a We Got Your Back skin. Even if you don't plan on using it, you can melt it after. Take a screenshot, cut it out, post it on Twitter, let people know. I want to make this a thing. I'm gonna go to all the content creators I can. I know BoredGamer is actually the one who started this. I know Twerk17 is going to be doing this, when, later today?
Yeah, right after the podcast.
We got Twerk17 doing it later today. We'll get some other people going and doing that. And let's make this a thing. Let's take and put some positive things in. I know that I put my money into this project because they don't have release dates. I want to see this game become what they want it to become, right? I'm not worried about all of these allegations and everything like that. I love the development process. I'm happy seeing the window into the development process that we've had. I'm super happy especially after playing some other early access games lately, some space early access games. Oh my god, the amount of polish that this game has is
insane.
Yeah. But let me put this here. I said I was going to link this in your chat, and I linked it in mine because I'm a derp.
Yeah, I saw you click, and I was like, where is the link?
Where is it going to? So there it is right there. Yeah, like I said, if you don't have the extra money, or you don't want to put more money into Star Citizen, that's fine. Do me a favor, just retweet any of those posts that you see where, you know, it has the hashtag We Got Your Backs. And
don't be a troll. Don't antagonize.
Don't antagonize or whatever. Just, you know, just do this. Don't give them any more fuel for their fire. because like you can see that words get twisted and whatever. Just it is what it is. If you don't want to be, if you're not proud to be a Star Citizen, you don't support it, you know, that's your thing too. It is what it is. But if you do, definitely either pick up We Got Your Back Skin Hull or retweet my tweet or Twerks or BoredGamers or whomever's.
I totally had someone come in the chat today that said Star Citizen was broke, and they were totally serious, and I was just like, okay. That's all I just said.
Breaking news, guys.
Yeah, I just said okay.
Source.
And just kept it moving.
Yeah.
So we're getting towards the end and towards the question and answer section, but there was a little change to some of the content that gets provided to us on a weekly basis. They changed the ATV and RTV sets.
Yes.
So what did you guys think?
Sneak peeks.
Yeah. What did you guys think about them? Do you like the changes?
Well, we haven't really fully seen the changes yet until
they moved to the office, right?
Right? Until tomorrow for Around the Verse.
No, they did it. They did it for last week's Around the Verse.
I don't want to offend anyone, but I literally could not give a crap about that. I mean, they're providing me content.
Content is king.
Yeah, I don't care what it looks like behind me. In fact, I'd prefer if they smashed down the episodes by about 60% and just gave me content quicker and cut out a lot of the chat. Although I do love seeing Ben and Sandy awkwardly talking.
Yes.
I think a lot of the...
Should we just give them our format and just say here?
I like theirs. I like theirs. The poster wall is really cool because we don't get posters that easily. So to be able to see their posters is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Our posters are moving.
I know. Ours does move though. Yeah. They're getting more professional. Like when they're talking about things, they kind of show videos of them. They have an editor now. The kid that's always on RTV in the background. You know, so like they're getting more professional, and it's good to see that our subscriber money is going to good things, I guess, improving stuff and making, because the more I think, you know, as content creators ourselves, the more professional things look, I know the happier we are about it, and maybe in our minds people get impressed by things and might stick around, right? So I don't know, like, why did we change the overlays here and things like that? Because we wanted to look nice. So they did the same thing, and I think they did a good job with it. I wish RTV looked a little different, personally. I think they're just so crammed. But then when they actually showed the, like, what was his name? Disco picked up the webcam and showed how crammed of a space they're in. It was like, whoa, so now I get it.
At least 60% of the screen at any one time in RTV is taken up by beard.
Yes, 2 beards like this. And then there's Sandy like trying to poke between, or whoever, like Ship Shape or something like that. That's the only thing that I would want to change, is I don't want to see Disco's face like this while other people are talking. I want to see the person who's talking, you know, because usually the person that's behind Disco, and even Ben, because like you see like half of Ben's face a lot of the time, like they're just such big dudes. Like let's pull the camera back a little bit, right? Somehow like get it up, pull it back, and then like let's get a little more of let's get a view of the other people that are there, because usually the people that are behind them are the ones that are answering, like,
come on guys, let's see some chin.
Real detailed questions.
I just want to see some more chins on the channel. I don't want to see beards.
Beards. Just beards.
I like beards. I think Bored doesn't like beards.
No. So
I think Bored is anti-beard.
No, there's a reason I've been shaving. It's because I look like the pilot, and it's part of my cosplay. That's why I'm totally bald and don't even have a beard. But after CitizenCon, people have been saying that I should grow like a YMCA, like a proper handlebar mustache. And I think I might.
That's all right.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think once they move into their new office, I think they're gonna have a specific area for these sets that's much larger, much more accommodating to what they have now. it is, you could tell it is so difficult to accommodate for those guys right now. So the changes that I would like to see are not where they are right now, because it's impossible from what I can tell, but in the future, definitely could do things better with that. Because when ShipShape comes in, when people come downstairs for RTV, and those are the guys that were like, oh my god, like, we want to ask you questions. A lot of the time it's the two beards that are just like in front of their face, and it's like, I want to hear them talking and see them. So they've been slowly improving, but all the new mics on RTV and stuff too, making it better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, it is slowly getting more and more polished, I guess. And it's like we said with everything else, it's new for them, right? Mm-hmm. As they start to do more and more, it's going to get better and better, right? A year from now, it should be even better than what it is now. 2 years from now, or and so on and so forth, right? It's the same thing with a good example is our streams or our YouTube channels or things like that. As we do it, it becomes better. Like, look at the evolution of Redacted. You know, look at the evolution of Twerk's channel or my channel. I know, Twerk, you just got a whole bunch of new overlays and stuff.
Love it. And like I was saying, it just makes you feel good about your content.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely.
I feel so good.
Actually, what I'll say is all of the Star Citizen streamers and YouTubers over the last 6 months, over the last 3 months, pretty much all of them that I watch, all of the guys in the community that probably everyone knows, their stuff has got so much better. You say the overlays, everything looks so much more professional. Mm-hmm. Everyone is so much better at doing their content. It is staggering the amount of evolution that's happened. And I think that's absolutely great sign for the future of content for Star Citizen.
Absolutely.
I just wish we were supported a little bit better by CIG, because I would really like CIG to say, this week, guys, we're after tutorial videos. This week, guys, we're after racing videos to tell people how to race. I'd love it if CIG did that.
I'd love it if they did something like that.
Yeah.
Instead of us having to sort of guess.
Yes.
and see, okay, you know, this week we want to see somebody make a meme with Star Citizen or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be super serious all the time. It can be fun.
Something to get the community to jump in.
Yeah. Because reasons for the community to get involved. Reasons for the community to get involved.
And then look at the hub.
And then direct that, and then post that to the hub, and then everybody knows what people are making, and then people can upvote what they like.
Hub spotlight, this is what we're asking for this week, guys. Bonus points.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah.
Right. Now, before we get into questions, this isn't something that's on our little podcast thing here. But I do want to talk a little bit about Redacted, the content creators team. Not the podcast. And this is something that we've just started fleshing out recently. You may notice that myself and Twerk, in our titles where it says Redacted episode 26, 3 days to CitizenCon, Twerk 17 playing Star Citizen, it used to say on Overdrive. That is my pirate organization. At first, I was going to do some sort of thing with the organization and the stream team. That's not what I wanted to do over the last looking at the last 6 months, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make some changes to that, but a lot of people have seen the evolution of my channel and how it's been going, and I don't know if you guys know how much time that actually takes, but it takes a lot of time for me to do that and everything. Now that we have sort of a nice core group of people that are working together and doing things together, we have BoredGamer, Twerk, myself, plus others that we've worked with in the past. We have changed the branding from the Overdrive stream team to the Redacted Content Creators group. So it's not just Twitch streamers, it's YouTubers, it's writers, it's programmers, it's artists, it's all kinds of stuff like that. What we plan on doing is creating a space, or creating a group of people that have like-minded ideas, that share the same interests,
but not necessarily the same skills.
Not necessarily the same skills, exactly, right? So Twerk 17 is a good streamer and is good at is good at looking at streams from an outside perspective. BoredGamer is really good at putting together informational YouTube videos. I'm really good at the technical aspect of things, or things like putting together Photoshop things, everything. Just the best. Best at
except for compasses. Compasses and maps you fail at.
Yeah, bad with maps.
Compasses and maps.
And Russian.
So what we're going to be doing, I can't speak Russian. What we're going to be doing is right now, if you click on the redacted link that is up above my head, actually right over here, that's going to bring you to the stream team page, and that is everybody that was on the stream team of Overdrive previously. We're going to be adding to that. We are constantly on the look for new content creators, whether you're a Twitch streamer, YouTuber, artist, writer, whatever. There is an application form there under the info section. There's a link. If you think that you would be a good fit for what we're looking for, we are going to be building a website in the future. We're going to have a lot of stuff where we can share ideas, bounce ideas for promotion, bounce ideas for content, collaborating with each other, all kinds of really cool stuff. If that seems like something that you feel you'd like to be a part of and you have something to bring to the table for that, then definitely fill out that application. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to accept everybody that's in. I don't want it to be thousands of people to start with, but
it must be said that me and Saurus will be slave drivers to ourselves and everyone else, and work will be really nice.
Yeah.
So,
2 bad cops, 1 good cop.
I'll say what's up every now and then.
Yeah. That's sort of how we're looking at it right now.
We'll get stuff done.
And this is something that we've been just working on the last couple days, and you're going to see more of it. You're going to see links down below in our little area where we have our partner Mitch t-shirts and our info boxes and stuff down there. But I just wanted to give an official announcement that there is a Redacted Content Creators group. And if you're interested in that, I'm sure BoredGamer can also put a link in the description below for this as well. It's 1,000 links in your descriptions, by the way, from now on because of me. I apologize.
Descriptions will block out the sun.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't wanna interrupt, but do you want to discuss QA Part 2 of the Endeavor? It's up.
Oh my god.
This is going to be the longest podcast we've ever had. But let me pull it up, and then we can talk about it here. No, that's not what I wanted.
I mean, we can just point people to it because what I'm looking at, there isn't much that's interesting.
We just gonna go silent while we read. This part of the podcast, we just read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read with
us,
If I
want to play solo, is this ship for me? Probably not. You know, just like things like that. Can you go further detail about a defense module? So there's a defense module, possibly.
Well, they're talking
let's talk there's an interesting question.
If we think the questions are worth reading.
Yeah, there's one that's
solo. Can you go into further detail about the defense module? Since the ship cannot dock in hangars, does it persist in the universe? Do the pods come?
That answers our question that we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, yeah. It's not going to be persistent. Do the pods come with Discovery and Hope packages include LTI? Yes. Is the Endeavor Supercollider the only way to get equipment overclocked? No.
No.
There's docking bay clarification in here as well. There's a whole post on docking bay clarification. There's a whole post on there's all the Endeavor and pods and all the pricing for everything.
I'm interested if we can kill people with multiple defense modules. They come along, they go, oh, I'm going to smash up this Endeavor. Oh my god, it's got loads of guns. It's a gun train. Yeah.
So that's something that's interesting about it. About like that's the one question that I kind of popped out for me is, okay, there's another module that's being worked on, and because the one thing that we kind of discussed was this thing can't defend itself on the last podcast, right? And you're gonna have to go with your friends. Well, now if you're gonna not be rolling with friends, you can potentially add this defense module and hopefully defend yourself a little bit.
Possibly with e-warfare, defensive e-war tech. Oh my god, cool. That might actually be quite cool.
Yes, very cool.
In before BoredGamer starts buying more things.
Yeah.
Cliffy, can you buy me something?
All right, guys, let's move on to the questions here. We have some questions from earlier in the week when I shared this in my stream to make sure it was working. And we're going to answer all the questions in here. If you guys have a question, !question in chat, make sure to fill out the form, and we will get your question in the podcast. Also, another reminder, we are doing a Merlin giveaway right now. You must be following both mine and Twerk17's channel. The way that we do do giveaways in the future might change a little bit. However, for this week, make sure you're following both mine and Twerk17's channel, and you know, send BoredGamer some love on his YouTube as well.
Send love, please.
Send love, please.
And drinks.
Yeah, Twitch does not sponsor or endorse any of our giveaways. So yeah, exclamation point Merlin. We will draw that after this podcast is complete. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you'd like to be a part of these giveaways, you must be here live on twitch.tv/WTFOSaurus or twitch.tv/Twerk17.
We usually swap back and forth.
That's right. So the first question is directed at me from Xanders, and this was posted on the 5th of October. Where is my popcorn? It's in the mail via carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
The next question, and these are all from today here. This is also directed at me. From Dreamkill. Did you ever play the old Clive Barker computer game, Clive Barker's Undying? No, I haven't played that. And for my horror nights and things like that, I don't find older games scary where I can't really immerse myself into them as much. So I don't really get the same scare factor as I would in, say, Layers of Fear still is hands down my favorite scary game.
I think it was quite Quake Undying.
Was it?
I remember. I think it was like Quake or Quake 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I never played it, and it's not really something I'm that interested in. If anybody does have any suggestions for games that they'd like to see me play, looking at games like Allison Road, the Silent Hill PT demo, Layers of Fear, Soma, those style of games are kind of what I'm looking for, and I'm burning through games a lot faster than I expected I would be. So if you guys have any suggestions, do me a favor, send me a message on Twitch, and I'll do my best to play that game just for you. And then you can be a special snowflake saying that, hey, I told him to play this game, and I'll play it on stream.
You're all special snowflakes, guys. You're all special snowflakes.
You're all unique.
And that's why we should all get together and buy electro hulls together.
That's
right. Like individuals.
So I hope that answers your question, Dreamkill, and thank you for asking it. We have a question from Locke Ravenford. This is directed at all of us. What kind of ships do you think the Star Citizen lineup is missing? What manufacturer, role combinations would you like to see developed in the future? So it's kind of a two-parter. So really I guess let's start with BoredGamer. What ships do you think the Star Citizen lineup is missing at the moment, and what would you like to see developed in the future?
So it's definitely missing more industrial factory ships. I was assuming the Endeavour was going to be a big factory originally. So I was thinking that you're going to be able to do lots of different things with it. And I say factory, what I mean is a workspace. I wanted a kind of blank canvas-ish to be able to go, I'm going to make munitions, or I'm going to run a strip club and casino in space. I was hoping it was going to be that. So I think that kind of economy building is, for me, would be awesome. Being able to run your own silly business, obviously within some form of rules bound, I think would be absolutely great. I mean, there's loads of other stuff I want as well, but that would be, for me, would really, really, really add to the flavour of Star Citizen.
You go ahead first. You go ahead next, because I'm still thinking.
Okay, so for me, I think just in general, we're missing alternatives to a lot of ships, right? We see the Orion as a mining ship. We see the Endeavour as a science ship. We see the Endeavour as a hospital ship. We see the Reclaimer as a salvage ship. We see the Hull series as hauling ships. But we have a ton of weapons-based platforms. We have a ton of fighting ships and combat ships. Now, obviously, that's a part of the game, but I think it's been stated very clearly, both by CIG and its player base, that it doesn't want to revolve around that. I think we need to see more alternatives for the same thing. They need some sort of redundancy in there, and I'm hoping that right now they're just sort of doing what we need for the game to come out, and then as the game progresses, we'll see more options, right? I don't want to go into an asteroid field of people mining asteroids and see nothing but Orions. I really that gets boring to me. It's too it's too homogenous, and I don't want to see that. I would rather see, oh, this is a ship by Anvil that's mining ship. This is a Drake mining ship. We have some alien mining ships. We have different levels of mining ships. We have different levels of exploration ships. We have different levels of science ships. Things like that. It
would be nice if they had given some details of modularity between like the constellations and stuff, because we know we're going to be able to make some of the ships have multi-role. Then it might not be particularly amazing at it, but it would be nice if they just gave us a little bit more of what they're thinking about that, because they haven't even given us a clue really. They went, we're working on it.
I also would like to see more civilian-based ships for
damn it, you took mine.
A universe that is sprawling and has people on different planets and everything. The only real ships we have are the 300 series and the Auroras and the Mustangs as personal transports, and there would be way more than that, I think. And I would like to see more redundancy in that. Once again, it doesn't need to be out right away, but I think later on, as they develop the game and as the game is released, I'd like to see more of that introduced. As for what manufacturer and role combination I would like to see a Drake Corvette at the end. Drop the mic. Twerk.
For me, since you took mine with the more civilian style thing, since yes, the game will be mostly NPCs and mostly civilian, I would think, is the other thing that I was kind of thinking about is more support ships for all these roles. So yes, maybe smaller mining ships, but not necessarily a smaller mining ship, but something that aids in an Orion or the Orion's competition. And I was gonna say that as well. Like, I don't want to see just Orions. I want to see the other companies do something similar and see that's the coolest thing about the game, right? Is one of the coolest things is that each company has their own design style, their own features, and then we see the Orion, and then we get to see how another company does something similar, and then you get to compare the two. Which one do I choose? This one does this a little better. This one does that a little better, and then it becomes this thing, and it's something exciting, and you have all these decisions to make, and
so
it's cool.
We said about Amazon earlier as a joke, but I suppose at the Hope Hospital you can call in some smaller ships. You wake up, you go down to the hangar, and you can teleport in effectively some smaller ships which get delivered to you. So do you think, or do you think this is a good idea, that you're in Orion, one of your drones breaks, do you think you'll be able to call on like a courier service? You go, I'm here, courier service, to literally rush you another drone?
If not, you could pay another player.
You could get a player to do it. Of course, you get a player on the Gommy, yeah.
But I think that would make it too easy, because I think maybe some of the risk is not breaking your drones, right?
Well, no,
so if you break your drones, then you're screwed and you gotta go back.
You go, I'm here, Amazon.
That's true.
It's a beacon.
But the answer to that is, even if they don't have that automated within the game, you can just say, hey, Twerk, are you, or whoever's in the organization or whatever is, hey, who can help me out with this? Can you do me a favor and bring me one of these over? I'll transfer you the credits right now.
I forget that some things don't need to be too complicated. You can just go, get a player to do that. That makes sense.
But, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, when I say support ships, like, we see ships like the Hornet tracker, right? More things like that. So, hold on. Got to ban somebody real quick. See you later. The Hornet tracker. So, things like that are, yes, it is a support ship in combat, right? So, that's the only one that really does anything like that at the moment. So, more ships like that, not just combat-based, but all throughout the spectrum of everything. So smaller civilian transports for, like, not just this giant I can't, the name is
this Genesis Starliner?
Yeah, the Genesis Starliner. What about a smaller private-ish plane that holds 4 to 5 people that, you know, yeah. So a new, like, something like that. So yeah, that kind of stuff is what I would like to see.
So Lock Ravenford, thank you for the question. I hope that answers it to your satisfaction. We kind of went a little
deeper. It was a really
good
question
than we expected. Twerk17, BoredGamer would like to say that you're a noob.
Thanks. That's not even a question.
Yeah, it's
you gotta ask questions.
Oh, sorry.
Well, okay. You know what? Here's a better question from Captain Flint, and this is directed at BoredGamer. How is your head so shiny? And do you need a special polish for that?
No,
I actually don't. It doesn't look that shiny to me. I'm gonna be honest. I think the gloss could be increased quite a bit. Fidelity is not there.
I actually use a matte polish, and it's naturally occurring.
Nice.
Give it a quick buff every day. Bam, done.
Okay. Question from Ujiru. This is directed at all of us. What is worse? Okay, this is a loaded question. PvE pirates or Alliance players from World of Warcraft?
Oh. What are the Alliance playing? It depends what character. Are they a filthy elf of some description? It's PvE pirates, man. People creating player corporations to be PvE pirates. What a bunch of noobs.
Sounds pretty lame, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But you guys can do what you want. I'm of course kidding. It's clearly Alliance elves.
Yeah, like when I played, I know Twerk never played World of Warcraft, so that question's kind of over his head. But
yeah,
for myself, I was Horde.
You can be a filthy blood elf, I suppose, can't you? They're still elves.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What are we talking about?
It's okay. It's before.
Anyways, thanks Ujiru for the question. Unregistered asks, what happened to James Pugh? James Pugh left CIG.
His head literally fell off. They were in the office with him. They were filming one of the parts of Ship Shape or RTV or something, and his head fell off.
Yeah.
So he can't work there anymore.
No.
Nope. Bye. Sorry, James. Good luck in whatever you're doing with your headless body.
He's no longer working there, and we want to keep respect for them. And
yeah, they're legally not allowed to talk about it, and we don't really 100% know. So
yeah, so it'd be silly for us to speculate on something like that.
Right. Magnetron GDW asks to all of us: do you think you will be able to use the science pods to grow plants as well as biofuel to use as biofuel on the Endeavour?
Yeah. Yes, I think that sort of stuff will be added, especially if you suggest it. If they haven't already thought about it. There'll be lots of stuff used in lots of different processes, and I do think there's going to be a big manufacturing chain. I don't think there's going to be many things that are just sell to a planet. There's going to be food and stuff that will be, and there will be a few products which we just sell, but that most of it will be used in some form of manufacturing, or can be converted to something else, or will have some use.
Right,
and I think even food will.
And this goes for everybody. If you think you have a good idea, or you think there's something you'd like to have in the game, that's kind of why they've opened the development to where they have. They are open to suggestions, even if they think it's a good idea. Even if it doesn't get implemented, it's good for them to actually get them to think about it. So, Magnetron, if you haven't suggested to them that on their official forums yet, I would suggest going and doing that. And thank you for your question.
Yeah.
Jusin asks to all of us: are you at all interested in Moonbase Alpha 2 Kickstarter? I have no idea what that is personally.
I'll go check it out.
I played Moonbase Alpha, which I think was the one where you were just running around the planet multiplayer, being stupid and trying to build up a little moon base, as the name describes. I didn't realise there was a second one. Definitely check that out.
Yeah. So here, let me just pull it up here. This is it here. It's got 13 backers. It's got 30 days to go. It just went up. It's only got just under 2,000 of $480,000 goal. It's a pretty ambitious goal. You can download Moonbase Alpha. It's made by NASA or inspired by NASA. NASA's endorsed it in one way or another. Their logo's on there. Let's take a look.
It's one small step for man.
I'll pull up the video here.
One giant.
So, let's see if we can. Looks like it's like a sandbox of space exploration kind of thing.
Take a look at the reward tiers, and you'll see
there's their office.
The problem with Kickstarter is that they never give what they say they're going to give you, and they just take so long to deliver. Kappa.
Oh man.
I don't know, but I'm pretty happy they're not giving us what they said in the Kickstarter.
But for me,
it's way better now.
Is not something I'm interested in personally. BoredGamer?
Moonbase Alpha?
I'll check it out.
I'm gonna email them in a minute. I'll definitely give it a play.
Yeah.
Although I suppose I better back them on Kickstarter rather than saying give me a free copy, because it's in the Unreal 4 engine, which is Win.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's what makes it kind of interesting.
A question from Steve X asks to all of us, hey, I wanted to know how the food and drink system works. Is it more of a survival system, or is it just if you have food on your ship, you're okay? Thank you. I don't think that it's going to be a necessary playing element. I think it's going to be, like we said, it's just one of those things that you're just going to sell. They don't want to add that survivalism aspect.
I think it would be terrible.
Originally, a while ago, they talked about food giving you buffs and stuff. I think that's been scrapped.
Yes.
The only food and drink system we really know about is with the Fly passenger ships. What are they called? Yeah. Crusader Industries.
We just said
the Starliner, the Genesis
Starliners. So we know that you're going to have to bring food and drink and look after the needs of the passengers based on what class they are. So there will be some form of food and drink system and menu.
I just thought of something. What if it's a requirement to have on your ship for NPCs?
Oh.
Right?
That might make sense. For
not just the Starliner, but for an Idris or a Retaliator or whatever, as long as you have NPCs on there, part of their payment is you need to cover their payment and you need to cover their food and drink while they're on
maybe that's why there's that pod for the Endeavour. There's that crew pod and service pod. Maybe that gives it loads of kitchens and stuff.
That would give it a reason for the food and drink to be in game without making it tedious. Right, because you would just load on it once. You'd say, okay, this is what we need, and then it's just passive as you go. Otherwise, people start slacking on their jobs or whatever. If you buy under the recommended amount, they slack on their jobs. They don't perform as well as they should.
Yeah, if they don't go to the bathroom, they shit their pants.
I put the fork in the microwave. My ship exploded.
Yeah. It's The Sims.
I put the fork. I put my food in the gravity generator instead of the microwave. I was really tired.
Some guy came up to me in my cockpit and blocked me in. He just built another door on my door. What?
But Steve X, thank you for the question, and I hope that we answered it to we answered it to the best of our ability there. Kale Satobo asks to all of us, on release, will you complete Squadron 42 before jumping into the persistent universe?
Oh my god! I mean, I'm going to be one of the first 100 people to complete that game, almost guaranteed. I'm going to play it until I complete it. I will not sleep. I will try and get sponsorship from Red Bull. I will just stay up until I complete that. I'm not going to do it on the Oculus or anything either. I'm going to go mouse and keyboard, and I'm going to go try hard extreme.
So you're going to do what I do.
What do you guys think about the release dates? Possibly, I think we might get Squadron 42 before we get the PU official drop.
That's sort of what I've understood from everything they've said anyways. So I am fully into, even though for the role that I'm playing in the universe, Squadron 42 is irrelevant to me, I'm still going to complete it. I still want to know the story, and I think even if you aren't interested in getting citizenship, because this is a way to get citizenship in the verse. But even if you're not interested in getting proper citizenship, I suggest everybody play through it, because this is sort of the spiritual successor to Wing Commander. This is the main reason that Chris is so highly regarded.
You've got it for your game. You've got it with your game package, and it gives you stuff in game, and it will train you and teach you how to play the game better. If you don't want to play it, then I don't know. I haven't got nothing. But you clearly like multiplayer more than you like single player. Burn!
Right. But I think everybody on this panel is the same across the board. We're all going to be playing as soon as it comes out. So Kale Satobo, thank you for the question. Darkstar100 asks to all of us, hey guys, with CitizenCon on the horizon, how much do you think the new military-themed ship is going to cost?
Well, I know how much it's going to cost because it's spoilers.
Okay, well, you know what? I think that that's something that we shouldn't treat as a spoiler, because I think, in my personal opinion, is important to let people know a heads up, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't announce what the price was.
Can I just double check in chat that if we give you a spoiler, we will say big spoilers now, It's just the name of the ship and how much it's going to cost.
Okay.
No.
But we think, I mean, it might not be. We've just been rumoured that it is. Would you be okay with that? If you really hate the idea, say spoiler, and if we get a few people saying spoiler, we won't.
Maybe we'll add something on the YouTube video that just says...
Oh, yeah.
Well, obviously they know they can pause now, right? So, at this point...
People saying just do it.
We could just do it.
Well, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
As someone said in the chat, it's probably going to be $175.
Which I think is a good price point. I'm happy with that.
Well, I mean, yeah, if whatever it is going to suit you well, then yeah.
They couldn't do another $300 ship. They just did one.
I would have happily paid $500 for a Corvette.
Yeah.
Because I'm mad.
You are. But I think we need to... CitizenCon is for the masses and a ship that is somewhat affordable for everybody. I would have liked to see another like $50, $60 ship, but hey.
Well, so someone is saying in the chat, the reason it's a spoiler is purely because we're not supposed to know it yet. It's just been rumoured from various sources, and it is just a rumour. We might be wrong. It's just I don't like giving any spoilers. I was totally out of that leak that Mr. Lando was partook of somehow. I totally stayed out of that, and I actually had little fights with a couple of content providers that were leaking stuff and doing content on that leak. So I'm very much against leakage. But the name of this magical ship is the possibly aptly named Vindicator, which is named after a medium fighter or light bomber in the Wing Commander 4 game?
We think Wing Commander 4, but we didn't get a chance to research it because we kind of found out as we were preparing for the podcast today. Well, I found out as we were preparing
I found a thing that we can use for when we have alarms.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. It's the sound of the police.
Yep.
It's going to do that. Yeah.
I'm so nervous.
Yeah. Why are you nervous? What's wrong? Are we going to play?
I don't know what's going to happen.
No, you can't hear anything. You guys aren't going to be able to hear anything.
Or is it only dogs that can hear it? It's just a high-pitched whistle.
I see it now.
Yes, it's just on the thing. So,
Oh no, they can take in before Toast sends BoredGamer an official letter. No, I'm sorry, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Toast.
Okay,
stop working.
Toast, I love you, Toast. I'm sorry. I heard it on Reddit. It was written on a toilet wall. I'm sorry.
But we still don't know what this ship is.
No, I mean, $175. I mean, again, we only are assuming based on total random rumor. But are we thinking medium level fighting ship, sort of like in between a Gladiator and a Vanguard, something?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. I mean, what do people think?
It could be a heavy fighter. They don't have a heavy fighter yet.
Yeah, it's
outside of the F8 Lightning.
But yeah.
But outside of the F8 Lightning, we don't have a heavy fighter. But it might not be
from Anvil.
Well, it's got to be from Anvil.
I mean, there's still a lot of speculation. But I think it's important. I hope that price is right, because I think it's important. Because they did say, and that is my one gripe about this whole sale that they're doing. They did say that previously they would let people know ahead of time how much the sales are, so it's not like a mad scramble to see how much it is. So I would have appreciated them just saying what the price is, and then going from there. But Darkstar 100, I hope that answers your question. And I'm sorry if we ruined any spoilers for anything. Grisney asks to all of us, what do we know about the Electro skin hull? And do we need another skin to make it work? No.
It's a dual skin hull.
Well, yeah, what it is all of the skins, and this was confirmed before, they're all the Electro skin thing where they can change on the fly kind of thing. But you have to apply them beforehand.
And by the way, guys, I posted the link of what the Vindicator was in Wing Commander 4.
The
Gladiator.
The skin itself is just like any of the other skins. It says it's just a "you got our back," so it's a way to support them. We don't know what it looks like yet because I don't think they have it implemented in the game yet.
They do not, I don't believe.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as like the South by Southwest skin or any other skin that it'll just be a way for you to apply it to your ship to make it look a little bit different at this point in time. That's all we really know about it. To me, they're glorified $5 gift cards. You can't buy a $5 gift card, but you can melt these out. So I picked up 3 of them to give away to people, for people not necessarily to keep as skins, but to have as $5 gift cards to say, you know, I support Star Citizen and I'm going to continue putting money into it. And this is me showing that without me dropping a whole bunch of money right now, because I can't really afford to do that at the moment. But but by me saying, you know, here's an extra $15 to go towards development, and you know, it is appropriately named. So that's why I picked it up personally. Is I picked it up as a $5 gift card for me to give away. So Grizzly, thank you for your question, and I wish we knew more about it and what it looked like to show you, but unfortunately we can only go with the information that we have. Gil asks, can you guys perhaps give us an idea of what you expect from the salvage opportunities? At the moment in Arena Commander, when you kill a ship, you kill it good. When do you expect in the way of reclaiming from dogfights?
I am doing my best here, but I just got it now actually. I'll post a link of a redacted episode 8 in the chat, which is what we did about salvage, but we can obviously talk briefly about it now. So what was the name? Gil _? There's the link in the chat right now, and it does link to the playlist of the podcast as well. So if you wanted to look at any of the old ones, they're there. But at the moment, yes, you kill it good, but I think now when you shoot them, part of the new system damage states will be the damage states happen, and then randomly, procedurally, if you hit a certain area of the ship, for example the wing, you might knock off a weapon, and that will be salvageable. Is my understanding of how it works. Right, it's based on where you hit the ship.
Well,
also, right now there is no system in.
Right now we're in Arena Commander, which is highly different than the Persistent Universe. So what happens is, even if there are people around, the ship despawns. In the full game, when people are around, the ship is not going to despawn until people it's out of view. Then I believe there'll be a timer on it, and this is how it was explained. I don't remember the source for this, but I think it was explained in a 10 for the chairman. That
definitely a CIG employee.
Yeah, that they won't despawn as long as people are around them, like actual players and not NPCs, and then you can go and salvage the wrecks that are there. Like even now, when you blow up a ship, it's still there before it despawns, and it's just spinning in space and whatever, and it would eventually calm down or whatever.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's how it's going to be. There's still going to be things there, and for the most part, I think most reclaiming is going to be for the raw materials, rather than hoping to get intact engines or intact weapons and stuff like that. I think those are going to be rare.
This poses a question, though, doesn't it? That when is it a good idea to nom a ship rather than try and get it back up and running and take it home?
Right. So that's why I think that when you destroy a ship, that the odds of anything being intact are going to be extremely low. Right? And therefore, you'll want to try and keep it intact if you want to keep that stuff. If you just want that gold melt value, then just blow it out of the sky. It doesn't matter. Then you can just melt it down. Yeah. Right. But if you're looking, you're like, I like your weapons. I like your thrusters. I want that. Right? So then you would say, okay, let's disable the ship. Let's get some ships in here that can disable it, say with Joker Sucker Punches or whatever. Board it, take it over, tow it out of there, whatever you want to do. You won't necessarily... The reclaiming is for crunching it up. Like, there's nothing that's going to survive the front jaws of the reclaimer. Right? So if you're using the reclaimer and hoping to get weapons or an engine out of that, I don't think that's going to happen. You're going to have to go out EVA and check that stuff first. And if there's anything you want...
I see a new series now that you've given me the idea for. It's going to be Reclaimer Versus. And it's just going to be, what can the jaws of the Reclaimer take on?
Yeah, kind of like, will it blend? Will it reclaim?
Yes.
Will it reclaim? Yeah. Yeah. So, that's, once again, that's my understanding of it. That's nothing official. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that.
No. I mean, the one thing that I do remember is, remember when they were kind of leaking some things before the Cutlass commercial came out? They showed us the panel on the Cutlass. And this was, I mean, obviously very old, and I'm sure things have been reworked and rethought a million times. But
well, this was in the commercial as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it showed the radar or a panel on there seeing items and saying whether they're salvageable or not. And so there's things like that. So there'll be ship pieces that may not be salvageable, and then there will be ship pieces that are, and your ship might be able to recognize somehow which is which and stuff like that. So other than that, not much to add because that system hasn't been in place and they haven't really deep dived enough for me to discuss it at length.
But Gil, thank you for your question. Very much appreciated, and I hope we answered it to your satisfaction. Meme Meister, quite a name, asks to all of us, badass A-list actors with PC groundbreaking facial animations. Are you excited, hyped, or is this going to be better than sex for you?
I like sex, so I'm going to go with excited.
Well, are we talking about having sex with A-list actors?
I'm not quite sure what he's asking.
Yeah.
Meme, are you coming on to us right now? What is this?
I'm certainly aroused, but that was irrelevant from what's happening. No, so A-list actors and stuff, not really. I mean, the single-player aspect of the game is going to be cool. It's going to be fun. Free Space 2 was one of my favourite space games ever, and then I got into the Wing Commander series, oddly, after that, because I was just looking for other space games that looked awesome.
I grew up on Wing Commander, man.
Oh man, see, I didn't. I got into it later, a little bit later. Yeah. But for me, yeah, I quite like cool voiceovers. The cool actors will be fun, and they will add flavour to the game, but they're not that important to me. I mean, it depends on what actors it is, I suppose. And there might be an actor there that there are a few actors
you get
that,
really
like,
giddy about.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah. Now for me, I think I'm excited for Squadron 42. We know it's going to be a more cinematic experience. I'm going to treat it more like a playable movie, even though I know we're going to actually be able to play the game, and it's still going to be directed. It's still going to be kind of on rails a little bit. I'm looking, because I don't really read a lot of the lore posts. That's not something that I have been doing a lot of. But I think that this is a good way to get a lot of people invested into that lore and get that story told. And recently I've been playing games, which normally I just rush through games just to beat them. But I've been playing through games and trying to follow the story. Soma was a really good example of doing that for me. And I believe that the A-list actors and the facial animations and all of that other stuff is just going to add to that experience, and I'm really, really excited for it.
Cool.
So yeah. So Meme Meister, I hope that answers your question there, and thanks for asking. From Deltron 3030 to all of us, UEE are the real terrorists. Do you think that the Vanduul even exist?
Boom. I think the Vanduul do exist. I think the UEE poked them, and they've got some nefarious plans going on. But the UEE don't help anyone on the Fringe Worlds anyway. They're dicks.
I think the Tavarn are the real terrorists.
First off, all planets are flat. Second off, Vanduul did have a home planet, even though they don't now. That's because the UEE destroyed it in search of looking for resources.
Yeah,
and now they're trying to cover it up. There's reasons we can't get into certain areas of Area 18, and it's forbidden, and nobody's ever captured any footage of it. I'm going to have to end this question right now because the Men in Black are coming. The question from Twerk17 to Twerk17: why did you use the wrong link, you casual? From French Tickler to BoredGamer: will you be able to control yourself in the presence of Harbor Walters?
No.
Sexually, physically, and mentally.
I heard he's like full on going with the suit and the wig now. Like, it's full on happening.
So I can only control 2 of those at any one time. And then I might just pee and poo myself. So I don't know. We'll have to see. There will be video evidence of whatever.
Nice.
Okay. So thanks, French Stickler, for the question. Next question from Deltron3030 to everyone. Vanduul drive plasma can't melt UEE structural dome members. Wake up, Nag.
That's amazing. Well
Anyone getting the new Corvette ship during CitizenCon? I didn't know you were getting a Corvette during CitCon.
It's not a Corvette.
It's not a Corvette.
It's the spoiler ship. It's the spoiler
and
ship.
I don't think we know enough about it for any of us to say. Do we know the manufacturer of it?
Nope.
No. That hasn't been leaked.
Yeah, so we don't know anything of it, so I don't even know if I'm interested in it or not. So, sorry, Deltron, we can't really answer your questions.
He's a one-trick pony, this guy.
Clifford asks to all of us, word on the street is the ships that's going up for sale is the new Corvette. No. Do you think this is true?
Well,
no.
maybe it is. Maybe it's a really cheap Corvette.
Maybe there's more leaked. Maybe there's more information.
Do you if not,
there's more than one ship.
What ship do you want to see for sale? I would like to see the
a Drake Corvette.
I would like to see the Dragonfly. Or a Drake
but we know
Corvette.
that that's not going because they.
I know that those aren't going. Actually, you know what?
Corvette,
I would like the Prowler. Yeah, Prowler.
Yeah, Prowler, man.
Prowler.
Okay.
Ditto for all of us, I think, on that one.
Yeah.
So thank you, Clifford, for your question.
He's not even here anymore. He had to go.
Rude.
He's here in spirit.
Maybe he'll watch us on YouTube and he'll see us.
Yeah.
Let's point and laugh at him. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
What a nerd.
Clifford, we love you. Cordover asked all of us, probably long since asked and answered, but has there been any word on what will happen if you park your ship in the middle of nowhere, power it down so the odds of being detected are minimal, and leave it drifting? Will it eventually, this one goes on for a while, just get deleted, or could you leave it there indefinitely? I think as long as you're...
What they've said before is that it will attempt to autopilot back to safe zone.
Yeah.
Although if it's got some form of bed or whatever, I think it might just despawn.
It might.
Those kind of mechanics will change and get balanced so that they work. So whatever happens, it will be some form of mechanic that works.
I think it would depend if you're just sticking around and like you EVA out of your ship and jump in another ship and take off. What happens to it, as opposed to if you just power it all down and then log out.
Yeah.
I think those are two different situations that warrant two different answers. I think that if you took off and did its own thing, it's just gonna... I imagine it would try and go to wherever, autopilot itself home. If you log out, then I imagine it would despawn itself. But who knows? Those are mechanics that are still unknown at this point, and we can't really answer that. So thanks, Cordover, for your question. Very much appreciated. Kanda Ryu asks all of us if you can make a suggestion on a game to consider streaming. Distance, although you may need a controller for it. That's all that's there.
I think that's a car game where you can go on the ceiling and stuff. That distance. You do that.
I like this. Hand movements.
I think my mate Deathcore streams it, and he's quite good at it. I think that's Distance.
Distance. I'll definitely have to check it out, but it's not something I've heard of. If you want to send me a link to it to my Twitch channel, I'll definitely at least check it out. And thank you for... That's not really a question. Let's try and keep them to questions as much as we can here. Berserker01 asks, BoredGamer, how ghetto is your cosplay for CitizenCon?
So it's relatively ghetto. It was made for about £20 or $30 with stuff that was around my room as well. I used to do a lot of roleplay games and LARP and stuff. So I had a good amount of like Nerf guns, and I had some old bike armor and stuff like that around. Yep, it's spray painted. Right, it's outlaw, light outlaw. And I had an old gas mask which I bought on eBay for like £5, which I put like LEDs and stuff in it, so it looks a little bit like a space helmet. It's relatively ghetto. I mean, if it was a fancy dress party, you'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But at a cosplay, it's going to be like, "What's going on?"
Incoming A90 jump is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely going for that. I'm going to be able to blag one on stage. I'm going to get on stage. I'm Gonna be like, I'm BoredGamer. Do you know who I am, guys? GIF 890.
Yeah, you're gonna drop some names. Yeah.
Drop the mic and walk off.
Don't you know who I am?
Okay, here I have a secondary question to follow up Berserkers here. Is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being least similar and 10 meaning exactly like the Light Outlaw, where would you place your cosplay in direct relation to the Light Outlaw armor in game?
What distance? How many meters or feet are you away from me?
Okay, if you're standing on stage,
yeah,
and I was in the crowd,
how good's your eyesight?
Let's assume good.
Let's assume it's okay.
It's not looking good for me. If you've got bad eyesight, yeah, then it's going to be an 8 or a 9. It's going to be pretty close.
Here's a better question then. Maybe your jeans. I assume you have a pair of black jeans that you're using.
Grey jeans with white spray painted things.
You did. Okay, so you have the white spray painted logo.
The problem is I've got very low fidelity.
Oh, well, okay.
I mean, no
Star Citizen.
Did you tape it off, or did you just free ball it?
It's you're gonna like it. Everyone's gonna like it because they'll be like, "Oh, he's made an effort. He's like a special child that's made an effort."
And so it's kind of like Lisa's Florida costume.
You're gonna like
Simpsons.
It's gonna be. Oh my god! Yeah, it's gonna be quality.
Okay. Well, thanks Berserker for the question, and I'm glad we could make fun of BoredGamer a little bit on the cast.
You'll know it's the Light Outlaw.
Okay, that's important. Zimmacugs asks all of us, do you think they should stop making more ships and focus on working what needs to be done?
They're only doing ships that they've talked about before or all part of the universe.
Or that are necessary to a job function.
And they're all part and parcel of the same thing. So them creating ships is just as, almost as important as them finishing off the universe. And it's all part and parcel.
Yeah. I imagine they'll be making quite a bit more ships once the underlying tech is all done. And they're just working on straight assets. I hope.
Yeah,
but
I mean, and they do need to sell ships in order to continue the process, right?
Zimmacugs, thank you for the question. Oh, go ahead.
We know that CIG aren't really that desperate for money, because if they were, they would have released the FPS module before it was ready, effectively.
They'd sell LTI tokens,
and they'd be selling all of the first-person shooter crap already. Yeah. They'd be selling pistols and rifles and armor and Titan armor and lots of shit that won't exist for ages.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that because they're waiting for the FPS to be ready.
They'd sell LTI tokens.
Yep.
If they wanted money, that's what they'd be doing.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Bahi to BoredGamer, have you made her fly yet? I don't know what that means.
Oh god, that's a reference to my mum.
Oh, so right.
It's my mum's birthday on the 10th of October, so on Citizen, and I said, should I buy her a ship? And quite a lot of people retweeted and favorited, saying, of course you should. And then it became a hashtag, your mum's a Star Citizen. So I haven't made her fly yet. When I get back from CitizenCon, I'll try and get a free ship. I'll talk to Sandy. I'll say, Sandy, I know you're very good at signing people's birthday cards. Can you please give my mother a ship? And whatever, I suppose I'll come back and buy her one. But she's so bad with computers. She's so bad with computers. You have no idea.
And the learning curve on this game.
I'll interview her. I'll interview her. How much money do you think CIG have got left? Because she's got just as much information as the actual journalists do. So I mean, she works for CIG. I've seen a card. She's like a credit card or something. Yeah. Just blank out some bits.
Yeah, I'll show my card on screen.
Let's move away from the discussion about my mother.
Confirm CIG. Confirm CIG employee.
Yeah, damn right. Dear.
Yeah, so, okay, let's move on to the next question, and Bahi, thanks for reminding him. Kaitsu1 asks to all of us, would you like to see alien-type monsters, diseases, etc. in a game that explorers could accidentally bring with them from uncharted space planets? This is something I'd like to see on derelict ships.
Yeah, I knew you were going here. We've discussed this before.
This is something we've talked about on the podcast when it was just me and Twerkelson here. I think it would be cool. I think the fact that they're introducing pets and other aliens and stuff like that, I think is definitely going to be a thing that they could do. You could also alien type monsters. Vanduul are going to be scary enough on their own. I'm sure we'll be able to run into Vanduul on derelict ships and stuff like that as well. So, me personally, yes, I would like to see that. The diseases, not so much. Not so much the diseases. That requires too many more new mechanics and stuff. Maybe later on after the game's been released already. And that's what they could use the biodomes for, is creating medicines and the research laboratory and stuff like that. That would be cool later on down the road. When the game first comes out, I don't think we're going to see that kind of stuff. I think with the derelict ships, it's going to be scary enough when they're empty and there's a potential of other players or NPCs being on there or aliens that we're warring against. But it would be cool to see later on down the road. That's my perspective. BoredGamer, Twerk?
I agree completely, yeah.
So, full disclosure, I kind of blanked out a little bit during that question.
Aliens, diseases on...
Oh, yeah, no, so now I remember.
In the game, for explorers to bring with them from uncharted space planets.
So I think that will happen on an NPC level. I don't think it will happen on a player level.
Okay.
So I do think there will be outbreaks, and I do think there will be like xenophage and weird stuff that happens. I'll try not to just blank out again thinking, I've got to teach my mum how to fly. That's what I'm thinking now. But yeah, I think that will happen on an NPC level, and there'll be like medical outbreaks where there will be missions because of that, but I don't think there's going to be cross-contamination. It might close down trade routes and stuff, but we'll see.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So Keitsu, thank you very much. I think, yeah, we're going to be like the hero type that we don't ever get sick, but the NPCs around us have the possibility of getting sick. And especially that the NPCs are 90%. We can see if they do make that a thing, then that's something that could affect things quite a bit. But thank you for the question. Very much appreciated. Moo Masher asks, should SQ42 have a 20+ minute CGI intro video? I think it probably, we might see something
it already does.
Yeah.
But if you watch...
hyped. So
yeah, like I just started playing Wing Commander 4 not too long ago. It was about a 10-minute intro, so that's Chris's style, man.
Remember, it took them 66 days, which is longer than most movies take to film, to do the motion capture.
Yeah, so it's going to be long.
So it's going to be pretty awesome.
I don't know. I think a lot of that motion capture suit was for in-game motion capture for multiplayer.
Well, this is the thing. I think your CGI intro video isn't going to be what you think it's going to be. I think it's going to be an interactive CGI intro video where you have control over what you're looking at and what you're paying attention to.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
But I think that's sort of the route that they're going to go down. I don't think it's going to be a fixed video where you can't control anything. I think you'll still be a person in class or a person looking out the window or a person or camera there that can sort of explore the environment. I think that's how they're going to approach that. We don't know. I'm sure we'll see a video itself on CitizenCon that I know we're all excited to see. So Moomesher, thank you for the question. Moving on to Trollolino. To all of us, when do you think the prices of packages will start to go up? It's been said that the release game plus Squadron 42 will cost about $70 when completed. For myself, I think we're going to start to see stuff go up in price around beta.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah.
If not at full release.
Yeah. Or at least things being removed from the packages. So therefore, value is the same, but price is the same, but value is not.
Perfect. So Chololino, thank you for your question. Magnetron GW2 asks, will ships get special abilities, blink, stealth, etc., and do we need to research them or buy them for other players? Magnetron, I'm going to answer this for everybody. No, that's not going to be a thing. There's no superhero ships. That's not. Things are still based within.
If you want that, fractured space is fun.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that. We're gonna see warp drives. We're gonna see jump points, but we're not gonna see blinking or invisibility or things like that. You're gonna have to actually use real mechanics.
Yeah, we might. It's just unlikely.
Yeah. Highly unlikely, I think.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
Doghead Fish asks us, is there going to be deployable explosive mines added to the game? Yes.
Oh, please say there is. Oh god,
yes.
I didn't know.
We already know that there's a deployable bomb. It's made by Joker Engineering. It sends out just a configured distress message. So it's a bomb that you plant that sends out distress messages. So, help me! Yeah. I'm in Aurora, I need help! Beep, 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 beep. So thank you for the question. Detective Luigi asks, will you slaughter every Vanduul you see as good part of humanity should?
Yes. Yes.
I haven't decided yet.
Occasionally I won't slaughter them, occasionally I'll try and capture their ships and go, look at me, I've got a Vanduul scythe that's worth like $3,000, lol.
And then crash it into something.
Yeah, crash into someone else's Vanduul scythe.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. I need to see how the reputation system works with them, and if it's possible to build wrap up with them. If it is, then I will probably explore that path. That's right.
Oh, good job. Good job.
Wixtromius asks, do you think salt will be a commodity, and if so, will we be able to exploit Twerk 17 to get rich in 1 hour?
Yes, you can mine me to get all the UEC, because
he's like a salt pinata. Salt pinata.
Yep. Salt pinata.
I heard that we can't redeem him. We can't redeem him. He just won't redeem.
No.
It's not redeemable claim, that's the word. Oh, God.
Wick Wonder Guy, also known as Wickstrom, asks, would you bang a Vanduul? I'm gonna, as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be Vanduul wedding ceremonies that we can take place in game.
All I'm saying is if your cosplay is good enough, I wouldn't say no to a Vanduul.
Wait, do Vanduul wear clothes?
I don't know. I'm willing to find out.
He's ready to find out. And BoredGamer
take him off.
Wonders, when will this podcast end? It's going to end right after we do this giveaway here, and that is the end of our questions. So let's do this first. Twerk 17. I'm going to pull this up here. Where can people find you on the Twitterverse?
So obviously, you guys can find me here. This is my channel at twitch.tv/twerk17, but on Twitter and YouTube, it's at twerk17gaming, guys.
You got to slow it down so I can switch in between and show people things.
Oh, I'm sorry. So on Twitter, it's at twerk17. Yep. At twerk17gaming, and on YouTube, it's at the.
I don't have your YouTube up.
Yeah, it's all right. I haven't posted a YouTube video in 3 weeks anyway, so I've been really slacking on that note, but. Yeah, so you can find me there. I will be updating it more. I have a little video that we kind of made today that I'm pretty excited about, and definitely want to put up on the hub and try and get on to that little 30-second segment of ATV with this week. So, yeah. But
very awesome. I like your top thing of your guy is very like just chilling.
He's chilling, man. That's me.
I like that.
Yeah. That was actually from Fiendish Brother. That was one of the things he made.
And BoredGamer, where can we find you on Twitter?
On Twitter, pretty much all of my social media and channels and stuff are BoredGamerUK.
Okay.
But you want to go
pinned tweet right there.
You want to go all the way to those YouTubes. You want to get those YouTubes up. You want to get your mum and dad's YouTubes. You want to all get them subscribed. You want to get everyone else you've ever met's YouTubes. And if you really desperately want, they can go to my website boredgamer.co.uk for information about like user.cfgs and stuff. Although some of my content might be moving somewhere else soon, but we'll talk about that when it happens.
Yes. Let me just pull up a quick thing. I didn't have your website up in time. There we go.
I'm sure people will have to travel there.
Yeah, people are gonna have to go there. This is what it looks like. It's neat. I'm not gonna stop to let anybody read anything because you need to go there and read it for yourself.
That's pretty neat.
That is pretty neat.
That's pretty neat.
And you can find me at WTFOSaurus on Twitter and on Twitch. I'm twitch.tv/WTFOSaurus. It'd be good if I knew how to type my own URL here.
Before we head off, do we want to talk about what you and I are going to be doing during CitizenCon Source?
Yes, we do. But before that, even before we announce what we're going to be doing coming up in the next week, it doesn't end. Let's do that raffle right now.
Okay.
While we're still up, instead of dropping it down and bringing it back up.
Never-ending podcast.
So I'm gonna let it run for 5 more minutes, guys. So there's a 5-minute timer that started right now.
Okay, beautiful. So yeah, what do we all have coming up? I guess we can talk about the biggest thing that is redacted based. We are going to be on my channel, twitch.tv/WTFOSaurus on Saturday. We're going to be starting at 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. PST. And what time is that for you, Twerk?
What is that? 2 p.m. Eastern time.
I believe it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, isn't it?
Nope. 3. 12, 1, 2.
Weekend maths. BoredGamer is going to be at a rave, apparently.
Yeah.
This is CitizenCon. These are my moves at CitizenCon while you guys
Those
are
are some
streaming.
serious moves,
Those are
bro.
some sick moves. Sick moves. So we are going to be rebroadcasting CitizenCon with our commentary, talking about, we're going to be doing some hype stuff beforehand. We're going to have all kinds of giveaways. I'll be giving away a glaive during for subscribers. We will be doing our signature contest and voting on that. We'll be talking about all of the CitizenCon stuff. We'll be corresponding live with BoredGamer at CitizenCon. He'll be doing some sort of... Maybe his costume is just a cardboard box covered in tinfoil, and he's going as a Mr. Roboto. So
I thought this was a line of defense meet up. Lol, lol, lol.
Oh god. Well, then you just have to stand there and not do anything.
Just crash on the way.
Yeah, that just means that we try to connect to him and we can't. And yeah, so we'll be doing that October 10th. We're going to be hosting CitizenCon here and watching it together. Feel free to join us. It's going to be a really, really fun time. I'm really looking forward to it. I did something very similar just by myself for Gamescom. This time we're going to be joined by Twerk17 and Bored live on location, as well as some other special guests that are going to be there with Bored. And we might even bring some people in on into the call on stream as well. We'll be doing all kinds of cool giveaways. Like you guys saw, I have those gift cards, the 50, 25, 10. I have those other $5 We Got Your Backs gift cards I'm going to be giving away. The glaive, all kinds of really cool stuff. And I think we're even maybe giving away some other stuff as well. And we'll cover that when we get to it.
So, some of my other favourite streamers, Cage Cheek and Flint, we're all sharing a room together. We're going to be hanging out during the day together, so they're very likely to be on social media and on my camera and on the live stream, just generally with me during CitizenCon.
Generally intoxicated, I would assume, as well.
We're going to be pretty drunk.
Okay.
So make of that what you will.
It sounds like it's overall going to be an awesome time.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see how excited we are gonna get over it. Well, BoredGamer is already
dance. I'm gonna dance until CitizenCon. I'm confirmed.
We need a website called BoredGamerDances.com.
It's gonna be a meme.
Look at these
gifs. CitizenCon.
Just end the podcast right
this
here.
Is...
No. We got to do the Merlin giveaway.
We got to do the Merlin giveaway still. So, yeah. Other than that, what else? Other than that, what else do we individually have up? BoredGamer, what are you working on? What are you playing?
Oh, guys, I actually have a physical copy of Star Citizen right now, so I don't know if you guys know about that.
Oh.
How did you do that?
Deal with that.
A printer?
That's pretty neat.
I've got the game already, guys. I've got the game. I've been playing it. The first-person shooter is amazing. There's not very many people online though. It's weird that. And the baby PU, it's not a baby. It's a fully grown boy.
It's a real boy. Okay, so BoredGamer, what are you up to this next week? What are your plans for your channel? Any videos we should be looking forward to? Any contests?
I mean, I'm doing a Endeavour Theory Craft probably tomorrow as a video. And then I'll be doing my weekly review. I'll be doing it on Friday. Not doing any content on Saturday because drunk. And then on Sunday, I'm getting a plane back really early Sunday morning to do a CitizenCon special, as long as I haven't missed my plane and not so hungover that I can't see.
And you're going to be interviewing some people at CitizenCon, correct?
Yeah, so that's I'm going to hopefully be on stage doing cosplay if that's available. Sandy said she'd give me an interview, and we'll be generally just hanging around with the bar, talking to all the other citizens. We'll be getting all of the video footage we can from other people's phones and hand cameras, and making like a Cloverfield, Blair Witch style kind of CitizenCon silly kind of documentary at some point as well.
Nice.
If it was easy to cut, I'd do it for the Sunday. It's more likely it will come out during the week, but we'll see what happens. But CitizenCon.
Yeah.
And both myself and Twerk will all get a form up where you guys can ask questions for that, and we can give those questions to him either before or on CitizenCon.
Yeah, him and Harbinger will be doing.
So if you guys have those questions for that, I'll set that up later today.
We'll try and be around celebs when you guys are live streaming to us. So we're like, there's Chris Roberts, and just run at him.
Just run at him and lick his face.
You're on stream.
Say something. Yeah. So the raffle is over.
Okay.
Did I win?
You want me to?
Yeah. Let me know who it was.
It's gonna pop up in the chat.
Oh,
it's
screw you, Flesker.
Flesker.
Oh,
Flesker. How is it spelled?
F-L-S-K-E-R.
There's an E in there as well.
F-L-E-S-K-E-R.
Okay. Okay. I was like, it's not showing up. Flesker has been following my channel, so it's good.
Yep. Follow mine too.
There we go.
Since June.
Yep. Since June as well.
You better be a sub of mine. I mean, you don't have to win Merlin.
Yeah.
You better be. If you aren't, you better go do it right now, because he's the one who provided the Merlin.
Flesker, go ahead and send Bored if you want to type your name in the chat or something. Go ahead and send a Twitch message to BoredGamerUK there. Say just hello.
With your RSI handle and email address?
Yes, those two things he needs.
Got to send your pics to me, Flesker. And if
whisper him news as well.
And Twerk17, what are you doing this next week until CitizenCon, I guess?
Nothing crazy. I got my 2 short days until CitizenCon. So just a couple 2-hour streams of Star Citizen, just hanging out with the boys.
Nice.
Hanging out with the boys.
2 days until CitizenCon, guys. 2 days until
CitizenCon. 2 days. For me, I'm only going to be playing 2 games. Star Citizen is one of those, and Alien Isolation is the other one. Hopefully I don't rage quit again tonight. If you were around for last night, I rage quit it because NVIDIA is a thing. But that's it, guys, for episode 26 of Redacted. Once again, I'd like to welcome BoredGamer to the official cast.
It's great to be here.
Now, apparently, we have 3.5-hour podcasts, which are ridiculous.
Yeah, there was a lot to talk about, so next week there's going to be a lot to talk about as well. But I think maybe we'll
see. We'll see. I'm not going to commit to anything. But thank you to everybody who came by. Very much appreciated, and we will see you next week. I'm not going to be streaming directly after this. Normally I do, but because this went on for so long, we have some things we need to deal with here. Thank you to everybody who came by, and we will see you hopefully at the very least during CitizenCon. All right, guys.
T-shirts. Buy T-shirts. Woo!
Yeah, redacted shirts. Go Team Red. All right, guys.
Team Red. Hashtag F Team Red in chat.